Massive website, man, crashing like a band of bricks. Investors stressing cause they lost all the fix. 2 weeks down, not a whisper, not a sound. Like a desert in a drought, dreams hit the ground. CMO bounce, left a gaping hole in the plan. No exit speech, just a shadow where he stood, fam. Ash in the spotlight, might as well be a ghost. SEC gunning, ready to roast. 108 mil, a mountain of green. Promises broken, ain't what they dreamed. Ash saying things ain't going so well. Schemes unravel, rings sound the bell. People's hopes swindled by digital mirage. Ash selling fantasies, oh the sabotage. The faithful now faithless bought the con. Ponzi scheme pieces, truth unraveling on. Regulators smiling, lawsuits piling high. Ash's empire crumbling, can't even lie. Gone are the days of glory and gleam. On passive fallen, all part of the scheme. 108 mil, a mountain of green. Promises broken, ain't what they dreamed. Ash saying things ain't going so well. Schemes unravel, rings sound the bell. Regulators smiling, lawsuits piling high. Ash's empire crumbling, can't even lie. Gone are the days of glory and gleam. On passive fallen, all part of the scheme. 108 mil, a mountain of green. Promises broken, ain't what they dreamed. Ash saying things ain't going so well. Schemes unravel, rings sound the bell. Rings sound the bell. Rings sound the bell.
Karma's a bitch.
Stop going there.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, fabulous MLM Monday, which is the day to go and watch all of your favorite anti-MLM creators. So hopefully that's why you're here today. And today we're going to be reacting to Julie Nguyen. That's how you say her last name. And good old Michael Williams AIM, which is really fun because Michael Williams AIM, that stands for Automatic Internet Millionaire. And he is not an internet millionaire. So there's that. I always find that quite fun. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you. And Violet is here. And we have Jelly Snack and Go-Go and Scam Chan and Wes and Baron and Sherry and Jelly Snack is here and Jens is here. And yes, Unpassive is still offline. They've been offline for over 2 weeks now. And Chris is here. And Elves is here. And he's in it to scam it. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Mark's also here. Let's see Mike's bank statements if he's a millionaire then. Yeah. I just find it funny because he's always called himself Automatic Internet Millionaire, but he's never been a millionaire. So his name is a lie. But they did a very interesting live stream just earlier today, actually, where they were talking about Ash Mufarah's mindset, which is always very interesting to me to hear their interpretations of what they think Ash's mindset is, because they put him on such a pedestal in this thing as this man that can do no wrong, and he's actually sent by God to come here to Earth to create Unpassive, to save all of humanity. And I mean, the last time we saw him, he kind of came out here and admitted that things weren't going too well. But it's like, that's not what they heard. It would have been. It really would have been. Restoring from floppies would have been much faster. I always thought it was Michael AOL Instant Messenger. That would make more sense, honestly. Hello, Devil. It's good to see you. Wouldn't want to waste good floppies on Unpassive. Right? Pick says, if I had to guess, Ash's mindset is to take as much money as he can from people while seeming like he's doing them a favor, right? Because it's all about saving humanity. Staccato says, I didn't realize Mike had been released from prison. Did he rob a bank? Is that how he became an automatic instant millionaire?
Let's see.
We'll just get right into it.
Let's see if it's connecting.
It's connected, Julie. You're live. You're good. You know, without their O connect, I guess they forget how everything else works.
Not connecting yet. Okay, it is. Hello, everyone. It's today is Monday, the mid of the month. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? It's been a long time.
Just a little reminder, since, you know, it's Monday and the mid of the month of July, they've been owed their commission since September of 2023. Ash claimed that at the end of May, the money was transferred to his bank account, and now it is middle of July, and none of them have gotten a cent.
I'm great, Julie. Good to see you.
Good to
Hello,
see
everyone.
Good to see you too. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Go ahead.
That's my intro. Hey, just happy to see you.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks long, I think. I know it's been a long time. Anyway, hello everyone. Today is Monday. Here it is, Michael and I coming together to talk about on passive, to talk about what we have in mind. And today, our topic is about the mindset of Mr. Ash Mofara. And as everyone probably already understand, what is mindset? I wrote it down. It's a collections.
What is mindset? I wrote it down.
And beliefs that someone have, or some assumptions about what they have about themselves, around their life, about their world. With someone with a strong mindset can actually help them to manage and organize their expectations and the informations around them. And I believe that, you know, mindset can actually shape the sense of the world around ourselves. And it's also a way to help us.
Maybe they could interview the clock, you know? That might go better.
Influence the way we think, the way how we do things, the decisions that we make. And so today, when we're getting together talking about the mindset of Mr. Ash Mofara, I believe, Michael, that Mr. Ash Mofara...
No, Jeffrey talked about the qualities of being a good leader, leadership qualities, and the economy, which was very interesting. You know, they're going to take over the world.
Mofara has a very distinctive mindset that literally shaping on passive vision and the operations of the entire on passive company as well. Do you agree with me?
No.
Okay.
No, of course I agree with you.
Yeah,
No,
Pam's clock. You know, they can interview her clock. It really stole the fucking show the other day.
Absolutely, Julie. I mean, it's all about mindset. It's all about the way we think. You know, the way we think shapes, you know, who we are, you know. And so if we all understand the business of on passive, I think from that we should be able to glean or understand, you know, the way the CEO of the company thinks, right? You know, so it's all about, you know, being able to look and see what has happened, what is happening, what is to come,
Right, like what happened?
the direction that we're going in, you know, to get a clear sense of his vision, which basically comes from the way he thinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to understand the way that Ash Mufara's mindset is in order to understand his vision for this company. Interesting.
And you mentioned about the vision.
Right.
What we see is that his vision is really focusing on revolutionize the digital marketing how to turn what he's creating and what's around the world to be automated in that space, or whatever it is in that space.
They literally act like nothing has ever been done with AI before, and nothing on the internet is automated at all. Not one thing.
Terms of the technology wise, and he
came
wants
up
that
with
to be a global platform there, where there's no boundaries, you know, in terms of business, small to medium, in terms of individuals. You know, there's no skills that needed to be required, or the knowledge of technology to do it. And he makes it so simple.
See, no boundaries sounds really great and fine and dandy. And so does like no censorship. It sounds really great and fine and dandy until you go on Twitter, since Elon Musk bought it, and everybody is an anti-vaxxer who's promoting Trump. And then you're like, you know, maybe there's a good reason why we censor some things like misinformation or scams or etc. You know, like maybe there should be a limit on some things.
And so easy access.
Yeah, definitely, Julie. I mean, you know, so many people, you know, millions of people have been trying for so long, right? Trying to make it, trying to, you know, join a business, become successful, all of that, trying to put food on their table, just trying to live a good quality of life. And it's difficult. And that's because of lack of skills, right? Doesn't mean that they don't have any skills, but lack of skills in the area of building a business. Right.
Okay.
So we know people come from all different backgrounds. You know, you can have somebody who's an engineer, you can have somebody who's a doctor, somebody who's a lawyer, etc., a school teacher, nurse, right? But they may not have any skill when it comes to building a business, right? We've seen individuals who may have a lot of.
It's so weird how like everybody has to run a business now. Like in 2024, everybody needs to run a business. You all have to be small business owners.
Money, maybe from an
What if I don't
inheritance
want
or
it?
whatever, and they maybe buy a business, maybe a franchise, right? But then, you know, because they don't have the skill, they don't have the know-how to run that business, they employ.
I helped Ricky Berwick get up on the roof. That's what I did.
Others, right?
Shh, don't tell anyone.
They go out and they get people who are qualified, who have the knowledge, and they can now basically run the business, even though that individual.
You either get the joke or you don't. I'm sorry.
So maybe the owner. Right. So because of that, in order for us to build this business and for it to make sense for a lot of people globally, it has to be simple. It has to be something, you know, that does not require me to have the know-how, to be, you know, have the.
Oh, I see what Michael's doing. Okay. So you don't have to know anything here. So therefore, why would you need to ask any questions or know what's going on behind the scenes or know when the website's going to come back up and running? This seems to be the way that they're going with this last week, is now they're kind of like explaining to us why you don't need to know anything. You just need to sit there, have loyalty, and hope. It's coming soon. Patience.
The technical knowledge, you know, to understand how to build a website.
Yeah, like everyone in the world is running a business and everyone quits their 9-to-5 job, and then our world just completely shuts down and stops working. Because like that cannot happen. Like you know, it sounds amazing and all that everyone's making an income and passive income on the internet, blah blah blah. But it's like, first of all, you don't have to own a business, especially an MLM business, to do that. There's ways to make an income online without doing all that, okay? And then secondly, like not everyone wants to run a business. Not everyone's like, I want to be the boss. I want to be a business runner. Like that's fine. And it's like they picture this world where everybody is just going to be in on passive, promoting on passive, in on passive. And like no one's going to need to work anymore. But it's like, hey, but like, how do you think our world runs? It's because of the people that work and have jobs and they run the society. You know, like if all the bankers at the bank quit their jobs and come home, you're not doing any banking. All right, all the doctors quit their jobs at the hospital to run their own business at home. We're fucked. So like, and like maybe not everyone should quit their job and then run a business from home. You know, maybe that shouldn't be something that society promotes, but we're in this really weird time with like hustle culture. It's like so many of them and all of these companies seem to think that's the way to go. And it's like, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Everything would shut down. And then everyone would be in competition with everyone. It would be completely oversaturated with everything. Like, oh, it would just be awful. It wouldn't work. Michael's IT experiment. Ooh, I read that wrong. Michael's IT experience comprises changing the batteries in his doorbell. Yeah, probably. I don't think he has much, although he says he does. Julie's zoning out already. I don't think she listens to what they're saying half the time. She's kind of like Comfort in that way. Like someone will do a whole speech and then she'll be like, thank you, that was so inspirational. And then she just goes on talking about her own thing. Small businesses as subcontractors avoids employment laws and regulations. But I don't want to run a business. I just want my promised commission. But the thing is that see, you are right. So like Julie, Marty, Chris, all the people in PNG and etc., they don't have any employment laws and regulations. However, the people that Ash hired on Passive to be his tech team, he does have to go by the employment laws and regulations. Just because he's an MLM. And same with all of the MLMs that run call centers, for example. A lot of them have call centers, a main office, a headquarters. Anyone that's hired on, they'd have to be on a payroll. So they still have to follow the laws and regulations for that. And see, that's where Ash is kind of screwing up with these technicians. They can get him in trouble if he doesn't pay them. He has to pay them. I did watch part of it. I mean, geez, we can watch it. It was pretty awful. That was not a fun watch. It seems like Ash made a lot of the employees angry because they didn't get paid for so long. I mean, I think that would make any employee angry, right? I mean, they have very good reason to be like, I've been working here for 6 to 9 months and you owe me my paycheck. Nobody would work for that long without getting paid, right? Like think of you at your job now. Would you work there for 6 months and no paycheck? And then every time you ask for it, I'm sure he talks to you like he does these people when they ask for commissions. It wouldn't be much different, right? He would give them a similar sort of speech, and that would just drive me insane. They're interesting. Hello, little Miss Lulu. They're so desperate they have to talk about your mindset to really dig in with that manipulation. And that's really what they're doing, right? You have to change your mindset if you're asking questions about, you know, what the hell is going on here? Why is the website down? You're just negative. You're just negative. Ash doesn't want any of those negative people. Wes says, yeah, Comfort and Julie are the same. The speaker could say, please help. I just cut off my foot by mistake, Julie. I'm bleeding out. And she'd be like, thanks so much. That was perfect. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it would go. I'm actually surprised that no one's asked for help with anything on here. Or tried to mess with her a little bit and like say something just crazy. See what she says. Comfort reminds you of Brian Fellows. All right, that's fair. On-passive employees are on call because they're always on calls. I feel like for a long time, Julie was the only on-passive employee. When would it have been, like 2 years? 2 years ago now? Back when they only had like the OES, and it was the very first version of it, because they've had a few versions now. Like even this next one, they're saying, oh, this is chapter 2. No, it's like chapter 5 of the OES if they get another one up and running. We've done this a bunch of times. They've had to that we've already migrated everyone a few times. Like we've done this. But back when it was like just the OES and I was first covering this, Ash and everyone would say, if you have a problem with your OES, then email Julie. And poor Julie was basically like the entire problem solving team, all of customer service and a technician all at the same time. And I don't even think that Julie has a background in technology at all. So it was completely out of her realm. But it'd be like, yeah, you know, if the OES isn't working, email Julie. It was like, well, poor Julie. She probably got thousands and thousands of emails. We used to come on a lot and go, oh my God, poor Julie, dealing with thousands of people that can't log in because they were having login issues at that time. If there's ever a Netflix comedy series about the on-passive Sega, Steve Carell should play Comfort. Ash's IT crowd are his employees who have rights. The O-founders aren't. They have far fewer rights. Exactly. It kind of depends on where you live and what rights and regulations are in the area that you live, which is why Ash goes out of his way to prey on people that aren't in like US, Canada, even like Australia. Like these places all have laws and regulations, even for MLMs. Like they have more laws and regulations than like they do over in Dubai for MLMs. But when it comes to actual employment laws and like labor laws, those places do have those. So I don't know if he just got too big on his britches and thought he could still fuck people over out there and not pay them as his employees or what was going on. But no, he can get in trouble. Jesus Christ, Ricardo. Her love is mighty cheap. It is. I mean, she's very in love with Ash.
I understand how to generate traffic, how to put it all together, how to automate the process, all these things that we don't have to come up with. And that's what makes, Unpassive different, right? If it was just like every other business out there.
Okay, but here's the thing is that usually with a company, like the CEO of the company doesn't do everything. You know what I mean? Like, so he'll hire a chief marketing officer, right? Like Mohammed Nazal, and then he's the one in charge of the marketing. So Ash doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But they act like Ash is doing everything. And I'm like, no, technically, like he's even hired like out to people. So I don't know why he's seen as this amazing CEO that does everything.
Then we would have to fend for ourselves. And the reality is the majority of us would just simply fail, right? But here we have a business because of the way that our CEO thinks, right? We have a business whereby people can simply just get in, right? And use the full automation that's available to them to become successful. And that's a game changer, Jilly. There's definitely a difference when we have a business such as that.
Yes, absolutely. And when you start it with a very clear vision and your mind is set to that vision, you always go walking toward that path. I love the fact that he
what,
is
Julie? What the fuck was that? Yes, but I hope that with your vision, you just always go walking towards the path. See, that right there was just such a generic, weird answer to the speech he just gave. Like, was she listening at all?
Running this company, and Mr. Ashmufara himself has full of ethical and transparent, and really his integrity to his commitment to what he does. He advocates about ethical practices in businesses and in our daily life as well. His transparency and Unpassive is so clear that even though when he is
Speaking of bingo, by the way, I am putting together an Unpassive trivia for Friday. So this Friday, you don't want to miss.
Facing some challenges and an obstacle every day in his daily life, but his integrity is always there. He always show up, and he always keeping that trust that he's building with the people around him, and he focuses on just building that trust to tackle.
Right, like if you're going to promote something, at least promote something that you actually fully believe in and something that you found on your own without some hunbot pushing it in your face and telling you can earn money off of it. Then at least it's genuine, you know?
Actually really building that strong trust between him and the people around him and the founders, the users ourselves. You know, he always come to show up in a meeting or anywhere, even when it comes to relaxing time, he always focusing on that ethical and that transparency. And that's one of the things that I believe it is so important that we can take what we see in Mr. Ashmo Farah and use it for our life as well. Stay ethical and stay transparent.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they know what that means. Like I don't know if it's that they don't know what it actually means or if they just fall for his false sense of transparency. Because he tries to act like he's being transparent. But the way he goes about it is by basically just complaining about all of the things that he would have to do as a CEO of this scam to them. And every once in a while, you know, bitching about how there's people trying to stop him. But he's not really transparent. Like, he doesn't tell you anything that's going on. That's what transparent would be. It would be like when he comes out here and does one of his speeches, you don't have to all get together and try to decipher what he's saying or read between the lines as you all do. You just know because he just says it. Right? And the fact that every time that he comes out here and he does a speech, that several people feel the need to like reiterate what he says, to like almost translate it to their audience. That right there should show you that he's not at all transparent. Because you wouldn't have to do that. That's part of being transparent, is no one has to guess. All right? He just says it. He would just tell you what's going on. It's constant guessing. And then ethical isn't owing you commission since September and it being literally mid-July and you still haven't gotten paid a cent. I'm sure many people would be like, that's not too ethical for a business to do to people. Or like not pay your tax, you know, getting sued by the SEC. Can you really say he's ethical? I don't think so.
That's how you can test a person's integrity, Julie. When challenges come, you know, how do they react? What do? Do they run and hide? You know what I mean? Or do they come forth and says, okay, this is what's happening. This is, you know, how.
Well, he hid for a while. He hides first. He hides first. And then he comes out and then he still doesn't tell you anything.
Things are going to be resolved, etc. We're working on this, you know, and so on, making themselves available in spite of issues, in spite of challenges. You know, again, that's so you see that a person has integrity, right? That they want to be there. They want to, you know, be able to come out and let people know that, hey, I'm still here. We're still fighting. We're still working hard. We still believe in the motto of do it or die. You know, that is somebody who actually cares, Julie, right? As we talk.
Funny story. That's not actually their motto.
About mindset, you know, have to have compassion for other people, to have empathy for other people, to want to see other people do well, not just you, not just your family, but to take on the world, so to speak, right? Again, does a person have to do this? No, they don't, right? We know that there are people out there that are billionaires. And what are they really doing to help out others, right? Sure, they donate 1%, 2%, 3% here and there, but they still maintain the bulk, right, you know, of what they have, right?
So how much of the 108 million that I spent on himself did he send you? Huh, Michael? Because, you know, he made 108 million. And a lot of you guys are complaining that you've fallen on rough times. So maybe he's just like all the other ones. Also, I don't know if it's a great idea to come out here and shit on all of the other business owners if you're trying to make it as a business owner. This is what I mean. He causes his own problems.
Are they really going above and beyond to help out their fellow human being, right? So we understand all of that, but here,
don't worry, guys. Ash Bufara has done more than anyone out here for everybody, because he was sent here to save humanity, and then the SEC sued him to try to stop him, but he's still fighting for us.
Here with an unpassive, we see that a company is willing to go above and beyond. A company that says, you know what, we're going to push all the way through. Whatever comes in our way, we're just going to go right through it or go over it. But at the end of the day, we're going to continue forward and make this happen for so many people around the world, because there is that need, right? It's not that there isn't any need, Julie. It's not like everybody's sitting there and everyone is, having a grand time and they're financially free and have time freedom and all of this fancy stuff. No, right? Right now, the world is in chaos.
What do you mean, sir? I thought you were an automatic internet millionaire.
You know what I mean? You look right even in America, and for all the politics stuff and the election and all of that that's going on, like, it's just crazy, right? And people seem to think that, well, if this person go in power, then hey, we're gonna have our country's gonna be great. If this other person, people haven't learned from that, Julie. You know what I mean? They've just not learned. It doesn't matter whether it's A or B. It's still the same option, right? But here, we have something that is different. We can look and see what other companies have done. We can see what other companies are doing. And yet we see that, no, this is different. You actually have a CEO. You actually have a company that wants to make a difference in people's lives in a positive way. Unpassive is not here to harm anyone, right? And not one person. I can't find anyone that can say, oh, I was harmed by Unpassive.
Really? I have a few. I have several that have written me, actually. Would you like me to send them your way?
Possible, Julie. Okay. So the bottom line is that we have a CEO that has that integrity, right? That is full of transparency, when it comes to all that is going on with the company, right? And that is needed. That is needed, especially, in the world that we're living today. It is needed, Julie. It's not something that you see often, right? And so when we do find that, it's
us all live in a very, very dark world. If they live in a world where no other company, there's no organizations, there's no agencies, no one's helping anyone. All right? No one's ever helping anyone through anything at any time in these people's world. The only person that can save them is Ash Bufara. And I'm like, what world are you living in? Because, usually if there's something like a natural disaster, there are people that send help there. You can't be like, nobody in this entire world has ever done anything to help anyone. That's a very big, bold statement. It just makes me wonder, what kind of dark world you're living in.
Something to treasure, something to be grateful for, that we are all part of this, and we will benefit from the results in the end. So here we go.
Absolutely. And you know what? I love the fact that not only that he's focused on only what he does, Mr. Ash Bufara, and the team and the company itself, but he owns also, I guess, in a way where he's empowering other people around him and giving them support. I mean, he empowered each and every one of us by.
Now, I talked about this in my video yesterday about Jeffrey, but I'm just going to mention it again. Ash's way of empowering people is a false sense of empowerment. It's just a bunch of love bombing and then saying a bunch of buzzwords and phrases to make people feel good. And then lying to them about these future ideas that he has. So it's not actually empowering someone. We're doing it through lies. You know what I mean? It's a false sense of empowerment. So he's not doing that. He's not empowering anyone. It's like when he gets everyone all excited that you're all about to get paid. and then it doesn't happen. So then you get let down. And it's like every time that you get let down from something like that, you probably hit a bit lower than you did the last time. And eventually that wears on you after a while. Maybe you don't see it right now, but it will start. Continue on in this thing and you will. Maybe you can ask good old Rob how it's going, you know? For some people, it hits them harder first. And it's just not a good thing. It's actually very stressful to like be all excited for something. Like, imagine you're literally excited that your whole life is about to change. It's not just something you're excited for happening in the future. No. Your entire life is going to change for the better. This is the answer to all of your issues in life. They're all going to leave. This is coming right now. So people get very, very emotional and excited about this. It's a big deal. And then it just never comes. And he's done that to them over and over and over again. Right? It's like being in a doomsday cult. Although instead of them waiting for the end of the world and to go up to heaven, they're waiting for Ash to launch this fucking company. And you just go on this emotional roller coaster ride. So when you're going up the roller coaster, it's all false. Because he's just going to let you down again. And I'm worried about this one. Because I'm kind of like, how much further can we drop from here? All right, like everything's down. We're kind of in a bad spot if you're in on passive.
Showing up as a CEO, and we understand how busy he is. He shows up on all the occasions that he could to empowering us, to lift us up. And he, not only that, he's kind of empower us in a way of the things that he does, the work that he say, the work that he does, and the words that he said. He encourages everyone to do good things, you know, every single day. He encourages everyone to be independent in our own good.
Better hurry up with that internet, Julie, because your internet isn't doing too well.
In our own self every single day. He values every single one of us. And
Does
that
he?
makes it so beautiful to create that, I guess, the harmony.
Value you like he valued Marina? I was wondering, because the second that he could talk smack on her after she left, he was down. I'm just saying, pay attention. What about Mohammed Nazal and how he's been treated since he left? I mean, when he joined on Passive, they were all like, oh my God, we have the most intelligent CMO here, famous marketer, it's going to be amazing. They used him like crazy to legitimize this thing. And then literally he leaves, and then Tanya and a few other O founders are like, this guy, he's awful, blah, blah, blah. Literally like same day. You'll start hating them as quickly as you started loving them. That's a problem. Very, very culty.
Community that we currently have. And it's I don't see that we can find that in anywhere. You know,
I think a lot of us, Julie, have taken on his mindset. You know, I think a lot of us have grown
delusion?
over the years, just being involved in on passive in a positive way, right? You know, that's something that we've seen for ourselves, right? We witnessed it, we've experienced it, right? We see it in others, people stepping up and doing, you know, great things, right? Stepping out of their comfort zone and so on, being more confident.
She is. Professor Susan does the O Media with Muhammad Kamal. So she's over there doing that. But she hasn't really mentioned anything, or, you know, it's weird because the O Media is almost run separately from OnPassive.
You know, in their daily lives, right? So we can clearly say that people's lives have been impacted in a positive way, right, since they've been involved in OnPassive, based upon how the way our CEO thinks. You know, again, like you said, caring for other people, you know, being able to, you know, just have that persistent attitude, right? And being positive, you know, finding, no matter how bad a person is, you know, being able to find at least one good thing about that individual. You know what I mean? Helping building up character, Julie. Right? There's so much that many.
Maybe, I mean, it could completely be. It could be.
Within the Unpassive community, I've gained from listening to our CEO, and just watching,
I saw part of it.
what he does and how he goes about doing things, right? And I think people have adapted that into their daily lives as to how they go about and interact with their families, interact with friends, interact with their work colleagues, and so on. Again, making it a way of life of. Can you imagine a way of life, Julie, where every day you're positive? Every day, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, but then there's toxic positivity. Okay, because here's the thing. You know, if things are going wrong and then you ignore them just to keep being positive and you don't fix issues in your life, for example, that's not good. That's not good positivity. All right? So, for example, when you're being sued by the SEC, you're not getting your commissions in several months when they're owed to you. You should just be sitting there when your website crashes down and the CMO leaves going, it's okay, everything's fine, the money's coming soon. Like, no, you should be like, where the fuck's our money? You got it at the end of May. How come it's middle of July and I haven't received my commissions that are owed to me yet? The reason why Ash is so successful running this scam is because he thinks that everyone is stupid and that they're not going to fight back and they're not going to say, hey, wait a minute, you might be all excited about this new website coming up, but I'm still on my commissions owed to me. Pay me. He thinks he can just flash a shiny object in front of your face and you'll just forget all the problems and then go, everyone be positive. So I don't think it's working out for you too well.
In your life, you find something positive about that day, right? Can you imagine living your life like that? It makes a difference, right? It makes a difference in your mindset. It makes a difference from a spiritual standpoint, from a social standpoint, emotional standpoint. All aspects of your life, Julie, is impacted by that. Imagine if you're around positive people all the time, right? How can you not have positivity going forward if everyone around you is positive, right?
You ever been around someone that's like too positive? If you ever met one of those people, they're like JoJo Siwa used to be, but in real life, yeah, they're not that fun.
Right? It makes a difference. And just think, if your workplace, you walk into that office and everyone around you is always positive, right? As opposed to walking to a work environment where everyone around you is always negative, right? It's going.
Why is there only the options of positive and negative? Why can't you have a mixture of both? Why couldn't you just be mid? I don't understand.
To have an impact on you one way or the other. So I think I'd rather be in an environment where it's all positivity. You understand?
What if you were positive when things were positive and then you were a little negative when things got negative? What if you need some negativity in your life?
The opposite, right? And so, a lot of us, as I said, we've really...
what if it wasn't negativity and it was just honesty? So I think you have a different definition of negativity than the rest of us do. When you're in an MLM, your definition of negativity isn't what the rest of us define as negative mindset, right? Negative mindset where someone's maybe doing some really negative self-talk to themselves. They're tearing themselves down and everyone around them. That's what we actually think of. But what these guys are talking about is just having questions like, where's my commissions? That's negative. And I would argue that that's just, wanting what's owed to you.
Gained a lot just from being around him, for understanding the way he thinks, understand his mindset.
Right? There's healthy skepticism and, a little bit of negativity doesn't hurt you. Sometimes you need that. Kind of kick you in the pants. Get you going, Thanks, Mike. Let's hand it back to Julie. Jelly's done. She's like, I'm done hearing from Mike today.
Now and apply it into our lives, It makes a huge difference, Julie. No doubt about that.
Yes, Michael.
Yes.
Michael, I love the fact, and I'm actually very proud every time when I hear him say this. My name is Ash Mofara, right? And I was born to make good changes in humanity.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He actually said,
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
what do you mean, trying to change the quote on us? I don't think so, Julie.
Any cost at any time. I mean, I have goosebumps just hearing myself repeating what he say because of his mindset. He is setting to do that, and no matter what it costs, no matter how long it takes, but I'm here. I was born to change. I was born to do good for humanity. That is so strong, Michael. And by
So
doing that,
strong.
by showing
It
up,
was
by
so
doing the things that
strong.
he
It's
does,
a weird
and
word.
every time he show up, he almost like he knows everybody. He has this incredible memory where he knows everybody's name. He knows their literally their characters,
They
their
have their
intentions. I mean,
names as
it's
their
amazing.
name
And when he focuses
on YouTube. What do you mean he knows everybody's name? They dox themselves and they're on YouTube and their first and last names. That would be like me going, hey guys, I'm a really good creator because I know that his name is Mark B. Yeah, no, I know everyone's names. I know Mark B's name is Mark B. Like, he doesn't memorize every single person's name. That's the thing. So I don't know what you're talking about because there's been a lot of times where he hasn't known who was talking to him at all. You know? And Mark says these two sound like co-presenters at the Eurovision Song Contest, reading from a script and looking bored. They kind of do, right? You guys need to stop going there.
Stop going there.
No matter how long it takes, looking like 20 years right now, are you willing to wait that long, right? Are you? Because I'm starting to think that they would be fine with that. There was one time when they started talking about how if it doesn't happen in their generation, it would be in their kids or their grandkids' generation. I believe Julie was one of the main ones that made that statement. She was like, if it's not in our generation, it'll be our kids or our grandkids. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're willing to wait that long for this? Like, really, though? I mean, if you can't reap the benefits of it in this lifetime, is it worth it? He knows everyone's nuances, like when Chris Johnson starts emitting barbecue sauce. Someone on the Oron said if Ash said the world is square, they'd probably believe him. Yeah, it's true. Ash can read fast. Let's all worship him. Julie doesn't know that Ash calls her Ting Tong behind closed doors. Jesus Christ. Of course, Ash knows everyone's names. It's the same dozen. That's true too, right? It's always like the same people over and over again. So, even if he was to memorize some names, it's really only memorizing 20 people that just the same one showing up on every single stream. If a bunch of people gave me free money, I'd remember their names too. Next generation, generational wealth. Yeah, right? To them, it means it's coming in 6 generations from now, and that's okay. It's like they might be okay with that. Shouldn't you start an MLM scam? I mean, and that's the thing is that there's so many scammers in these people's Facebook groups that are public. And it's because anyone that watches this with that mindset of a con artist or a scammer is looking at these people like, oh my God, these are the most delicious victims I have ever seen in my life. What a fucking gold mine. wow, we can get money from all these people. They paid this guy $97 6 years ago. He hasn't given them shit. Look how they talk about him. I could probably get her to send me $300. You know, like that's how they're looking at them. If Unpassive is just a social club, they'd be happy with it. I mean, yeah. And see, the thing is that this whole time, Ash has been kind of like nicking away at them to kind of accept that. You know, you show up and you think it's going to be this grand tech company that's taking over the world, and then slowly you realize, nah, it's not going to be that. Okay, well, maybe it will be a marketing company. Nah. Maybe it'll help you run your business, targeted traffic. Well, it is going to save humanity, you know, but maybe it'll just be a social club that saves humanity. And he chips away at them, right? Chips away at them until they're basically willing to accept the bare minimum from him. That's how cults kind of do that to you. So a lot of them are like, yeah, no, I'd be happy. I'm just happy with this social network that I've made here. The Earth's a floating pizza, right? You know? Hello, Marty Horse. Didn't Julie used to do these videos with Chris and Marty? No, but she has done several with Chris and Marty. She used to do the Julie and Milo show. That was fun.
On the intention and the characters and the direction, and he just keep moving forward despite all the obstacle around. For me, observing that's an individual I want to follow. That's an individual, like you said, gathering the people that speaks positives, the people that full of positivity around them. That is someone I wanted to attract to every single
I guess.
You know,
I mean, you're not lying.
And
you're really not lying. Like, rich people all the time pay thousands of dollars to be a part of their little social clubs and lodges and stuff. So, I mean, my family used to do that shit. So you're not lying.
And it comes from how much he cares.
Well, we know most people in life, Julie.
Wasn't it Julie and Chris had a show called Quick Live? They probably did. And then they've done lots of stuff together. So, like, you're not crazy if you've seen Julie doing streams with Chris and Marty, even. Like, I know that she's gone on their show a bunch of times. Right? Like, it's all the same people, like we were just saying. You know, it's always like Julie, Michael, Marty, Chris, Red, Susie, Dan Street, like over and over again, same people over and over again. Mike Ellis, Rob, Lynn, just same ones.
Followers, right? Social media, right? You have so many people following others, and you know, it may not be the best thing, right? You know, people are following people for all sorts of, you know, weird reasons, let's say, right?
Right.
Right. And what are they?
Right. I thought I said that a lot until I heard Michael do a live stream, and he literally every second word for 10 minutes was right. That's why people are calling him Michael Wright Williams. Because right, guys, right. I swear to God, he's the one that got me doing that.
I mean, they're following all these social.
You know, when you fucking watch people, you watch them for a long time. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. You watch them for a long time, trying to learn their speech patterns and behaviors and stuff. And then you realize when you're speaking that you're starting to pick up on their vernacular, and you're like, oh my God, I need to not watch them for a bit.
Influencers and all this fancy stuff. And how are you actually benefiting from you following that individual, right? So if I'm not going to benefit in a positive way from following you, like, why would I do it?
I hate this. I need to benefit off of everyone. Like, sometimes, you know, one of you just want to enjoy someone. Maybe you don't need to benefit anything off of it other than just having their company or watching their content. The MLM mindset is very much like a narcissistic mindset of what can I gain out of all of my friendships. How do they all benefit me? Me. Me. Main character. Me. If I can't benefit from the people I'm friends with, usually by getting them to join my scam, then I shouldn't be friends with them. I'll just toss them to the side. Fuck them. You know, who cares about giving to others? And don't get me wrong, most friendships, all right, yeah, they should be a two-way street. But you shouldn't be going into them going, what am I benefiting from this person? Right? That's not a good mindset to have. Like when you're just making friends, even in your place of employment, the people you want to fuck with that you work with, people you want to hang out with, you know, when you're off work. Even in those cases, like you shouldn't be like, how can I benefit in my job by being friends with this person? I don't like it. I find it very fake and disingenuous. And it is very much the way that a narcissist thinks, because narcs are only friends with people that they can benefit from. So if someone's telling you that you should have the mindset that's similar to a narcissist's mindset, you should probably go and, should I be listening to this person? Because that's exactly how a narcissist thinks, is how am I benefiting off of things in my life? And they'll only surround themselves with people they can use. And I just, I don't like that. Don't have that mindset. Surround yourself with people just because you enjoy them. Maybe that's all you so-called benefit out of it. And then that's it. That's fine. It's called a real friendship. I feel like we're losing them out here.
Right? To me personally, it just doesn't make any sense, right? So when you see someone doing good, Julie, when you see someone that is out there that wants...
It's actually annoying, Mark, because they were like, we're doing Shining the Lights to shine a light on people we don't hear from. So let's do one with Julie and then Colin's Mana, and we'll do Susie, and I'm like, we know all these people. Literally, we know all these people. I don't know why we're doing them.
To make a positive difference, that makes a declaration such as that I was born, you know what I mean, for this, right? That's something that resonates with you, right? And so you can't help but, you know what? Yeah, I want to take on that mantle. I want to be able to do that one good thing a day, motto, like be able to carry that on. Again, think how that would impact the world.
Period.
Right? Not just, your immediate circle, but just the globe, right? If every single person decided to just do one good thing every single day, it doesn't have to be something big, massive. It could be just a small little thing. It just doesn't matter. Just do one.
Again, like, I feel like they live in a world where nobody's doing anything good in order to have this, like, oh my God, guys, imagine if everyone does one good thing a day. It's like most of us do several good things a day. Just saying.
One good thing. Just think about that, Julie, right? So I'm saying, you have a lot of positive experience by being around people, by hearing people share those types of sentiments, and to help you understand how you can be the best version of yourself. To me, that's powerful, right? That's incredible, because we live in a world that's filled with negativity. Yeah, just turn on your TV. You know what I mean? And that's all you're going to get, right? Every single news channel is going to have something negative. And we know that there's good being done in this world, right? Well, we know this, right? Some of us have benefited from others being good to us, right? People who, you probably don't know from Adam, as they say, right? But yet somehow, some way, they've had a positive impact in your life, right? So we know that there's good being done, but yet it's not broadcast, though, Julie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That doesn't go viral, right? It's all...
That's fair. I will say that's fair. I do feel like, for the most part, the things that go viral are more negative drama things, maybe. And like on the news, they'd rather tell you about a shooting than about someone saving a bunch of puppies from a puppy mill or something. But I don't know how on passive is going to change that. And it's not like Michael's going to give us any examples of it. And that's what bothers me. It's just all these big, grandiose ideas about how they're going to change the future, but there's no action plan other than everyone's joining our business, which to me isn't really an action plan. You know? At least I don't think so. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuck boy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger is almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand.
We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you Sexual Endorphin Spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the Foot Fetish Fantasia Spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand.
Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock Core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger Condoms and Fantasia Foot Spray. Buy Tiny Digger Diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor. Now back to this fuckery.
Always the bad things that go viral. You know what I mean? So when we see the good, yes, we certainly want to, gravitate towards it. We want to hold on to that, and we want to now internalize that so that we now become part of that movement, right? Whereby we're trying to help others around the world, right? It doesn't always have to be money. It doesn't always, give me money, or I have to give money, or it doesn't.
So then why aren't you helping people right now? If you don't need money to do it, and it doesn't always have to be money, why do you have to wait for like On Passive to launch or Oblast to launch or any of these things to do anything for anyone?
It doesn't always have to be that, right? Sometimes it's just that, that act of kindness. You know what I mean? It's just telling that person I love you. It's telling that person good morning. You know what I mean? It's that telling that person,
Yes, telling someone good morning can save the world.
Have a great day. Just little things. Opening the door for someone. You know what I mean? Just little things that we can do, Julie, to impact someone's lives. Because you just never know, the kind of day that person was having. You know what I mean? It could have been, a tornado type of a day, and just that one little act of kindness that you did for that person
type of a day
can just totally change, their outlook for the rest of the day and maybe even for the weeks to come, right? So absolutely, it's the mindset is so important, and when we see the type of mindset that our CEO has, it just makes sense that you want to gravitate towards that.
Absolutely. And I've heard someone say this. You really don't understand what an individual goes through if you're going to try to walk their shoes, a moment of it. So if we don't walk anyone's shoes, we should be kind toward them, no matter what happened. And so I've experienced a lot of that,
right?
On Passive.
How about paying people when you tell them you're going to pay them?
And it's the best place to be, right, Michael? Let's go into
It's the best place to be, Michael. It's the best place to be. That's just mindset. Give me money, yeah, and then lie and then just come up with like these big plans and ideas for the future to trick people into thinking that you're coming up with some big ideas to save the world.
A little bit more in terms of the technology and the business side of it. The way
Okay.
how I look at Mr. Ashmufara, the team, and On Passive is that On Passive is focusing on values creation based on the product, based on the services that On Passive does, focusing on in a way where.
Okay, I have a question then, Julie. What is the value of having an email client that doesn't actually send out emails? Because, if you can answer that question and convince me that it's a great idea, then, I'll start using Omail as my primary email right now.
On Passive is creating substantial values for the customers by.
Oh, good. Shyam is back. Love our world top greatest internet king, our ideal Lord, Big Bro, CEO, organizer, Asher, and management 5 groups of tech teams who created such biggest, unique, wonderful, unique platform in this world. Same comment every time. Used to add to it. Start adding to it again, Shyam. You getting lazy?
Going through, the technology. He is creating such a comprehensive and integrated solutions for everyone, like we said earlier.
Julie, what does that mean? Comprehensive. What does that actually mean, though?
And not only that, it's really truly focused on what the customer needs and wants. It's very important.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, Julie,
Mark says, I think I traumatized my kids by sending them an Omail last Christmas. The unpassive AI predictive text said Satan would be paying them a visit with a present. They haven't talked to him since.
Webinar, and I spoke about On Passive, the game changer, right? And so, we talked about a lot of different things, but the one sticking point was the idea that every single person on this planet, every single person, right, on this planet, whether directly or indirectly, will be impacted in a positive way because of On Passive.
Yeah.
Hands down, right? Because the one thing,
you can't
Julie,
just say that because you can't just be like, listen, everyone in the world is going to be impacted in a positive way because of On Passive, and then just leave it there. And then have that be the end all. How? What are they going to do for people? You always have this end goal, but like I said, you never have an action plan.
That every single business needs is traffic. The one thing.
Yeah, so all businesses in the world are now going to join On Passive because they all need traffic, and you claim you're going to have targeted traffic? Do you not realize you're not the only company in the entire world that offers that?
That every single one of them, right? This business may need something else because, they're in the tech industry. This one may need something else, because they're in the healthcare industry and so on.
Trust me, no one in the tech industry is joining this thing. All right, you're not going to have any tech companies coming in.
And so forth. But the one thing that all of them need, right, is traffic. All of them need visitors. All of them need marketing, Julie. That's why companies that are 50-year-old, right, they're still advertising to this day, right?
Paying millions of dollars to advertise.
Millions of dollars for 30-second commercial, Julie, right?
Yeah, you're not, I wouldn't laugh about that. You guys paid for an advertisement on the Burj Khalifa when you didn't even have anything for anyone to join. And that cost thousands upon thousands of the dollars that you all paid to Ash Mufara. So I don't understand what you're laughing about. You do things that make less sense than other companies and their marketing campaigns.
The one
at the FIFA World Cup when no one could log into your ecosystem. You were like, we're sponsoring the FIFA World Cup. No, you bought an ad spot on beIN Sports. Way different, but still, it was like, why are you even doing that? No one can join. What the hell?
Thing that we know that people need, right? And so when we look at that and we say that, okay, if we understand On Passive's model and we understand the technology that's involved to have artificial intelligent designed advertising. Like, you understand that it's basically the driving force, right, behind the new way of advertising today, right? Because things have changed. We all know this, right? But the bottom line is that when you can.
But the thing is that like all the other companies, they act like companies don't like they aren't flexible as things change. They don't adapt. Like all the other companies are still living in the stone ages of marketing until On Passive shows up. And I'm over here like, no, like they adapt to the new times. Sometimes they create them with their marketing, believe it or not. Be surprised how many companies actually create trends via their marketing. I mean, that's the best marketing thing you can do. So like, I don't understand when you talk like that. It's like you're the ones that are far behind with this technology. Everyone else is doing just fine.
Continue to push forward, Julie, and to forge new direction, come up with new ideas that's going to springboard you, ahead of the crowd. All right, that's something to behold. And On Passive has that, right? On Passive has that, Julie, where it doesn't matter what business you have.
Right now, they don't. They don't have it. They don't have it. They hope to have it in the future, but they don't have it. You're literally sitting here lying. That's what we have. No. And right now, you don't have anything. Everything's down.
You're going to be impacted. You're going to benefit. There is at least one thing here that you will need. And first of all, I don't have a business.
Can I just say that their website went down when they had the ugliest color scheme for their website than they've ever had. So now it's just stuck like that. Can I say that? It was the ugly one. It makes me laugh a little bit. I'm kind of like, oh, sure, now it goes down after they make it the ugliest it's ever looked. Yeah, we got that traffic.
But guess what, though? You don't have a business, but you need money. You need income, right? We all do, right?
A lot of people seem to think that On Passive is now getting their data center and that Ash has like shut them down and moved to his own data center. And I have seen people saying this. And it seems to be that a lot of the Indian O founders were under the impression that that's what people were doing. I'm still not sure how they came to that conclusion. I'm trying to find out who it came from, but it's hard because like it's in a different language. So I'm slowly trying to kind of follow the trail, if you will. I'm thinking it probably came from like Zaf or good old him, or because it had to have come from somewhere. Someone had to have announced that to them, and then like I said, they'll just all repeat it. One person comes out here and says Ash is doing something, and then it like catches on to the Indian O founders like wildfire, like a wildflower, no, like a wildfire, and it spreads all over the place, and then everyone's saying it. But no, they don't have their data center or their own servers, nothing. So that's not what's happening. But I also can't blame them for believing it. Because Ash, for several years, 3 years to be exact, basically the whole time I've covered them, has said that they have data centers. Has talked about the data centers as though they were already going. And like, see, this is the problem, right? And this is what I mean. So because he's kind of done that and put it in their heads for years that they've already had their own data centers, blah, 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 it makes perfect sense then when it goes down for this long that they would kind of think that maybe that's what's going on. Oh, now we must be changing to our servers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that far of a leap for the Indian O founders to have taken, is my point. Because Ash did that. He put it out there. And like, this is kind of what upsets me when Marty and Chris come out here and they yell at people for like spreading this misinformation like this, It's because it always comes from somewhere, and it's usually fucking Ash. Like, if you're like, okay, why would they think that? Because whenever I hear something like that, you got to sit back and go, okay, why? Why are they saying this? Well, several of the O founders that are in India have said it. Okay, why would they get that impression? And it's like, well, because Ash has fucking given it to them. And they're also trying to interpret what he's saying in these live streams that he's done where he's talking in code. And us English speakers are going, what the fuck is he talking about? So imagine if English is not your first language and you're trying to figure out what he's saying. Right? So it's not that strange that they would have come to that conclusion and been like, oh, we're doing this. Where they got On Passive Web Services as a name from, that's also interesting. Like, does Ash know he's calling it that? You know? But at the same time, it's like Ash did that to himself. It's always his fault that these rumors exist. It's not just an Indian O founder out of nowhere pulling that out of his ass, is my point. You know what I mean? It's like he's put that idea in his head. It's like he really did convince them a year and a half ago that they were already using their own servers. And like me and the recovering Hunbot, we're getting upset on live streams because we're going, you are not using, you're using Amazon. Like, we can see it. We can look this information up. What are you talking about? And he, well, no, we have our own data centers. This is why Derek, when he came up on my channel, was so convinced that they had data centers. Because Ash said so. So it's like Ash says something, and then when the O founders run with it, probably not on the best time, like when the website's down, then they want to get all mad that people are making up things or whatever, spreading misinformation around. And it's like, well, it's because Ash doesn't tell them what's actually going on, because he's not transparent, despite what these two are saying today. So they have to read between the lines and translate what he's saying. He's talking in code. And because he's stated in the past that he has a data center. So, like, of course, they're going to try to spin this into something positive for On Passive. That's what they do here. The best way to do the website down would be to say, yeah, we're down for so long because we're actually just going to migrate to our own servers. You know, we were going to go with DigitalOcean, but we decided to do our own data centers instead. Makes perfect sense that someone would go that route. You can't imagine the value. It's just so much.
$100,000 a year, chances are that's not enough, right? That's just how things work, depending on where you live and all these other factors. But the bottom line.
Yeah, see, they do this a lot. They'll clickbait on passive withdrawals today, log in. There was a whole bunch of them this past week, and I was like, what are they doing? You can't even log in right now.
Is that even a
Gersminder's bad for that too, by the way. And he's in Canada. So I'm like, you should know better.
I want my child to go to university. Well, I need money for that.
Like, he knows English well enough that he can listen to Ash and know what's being said. He knows damn well. You know what I mean? Some of the other O founders, like I said, I give them a little bit more leeway because I'm like, if English isn't your first language, yeah, this would be fucking impossible to try to figure out. But Gersminder definitely knows better, and he knows exactly what he's doing when he clickbaits like that.
You know, retirement. Okay, I'm old. Okay, but there's retirement, right? We know most people that are retired right now are looking for extra income. Why? Because what they have isn't enough. That company pension isn't enough. That government pension isn't enough. They may not even have a pension. You know, again, depending on where they live in the world, right? The bottom line is that in On Passive, there is something, at least one thing, for every single person on this planet based upon the design of the business, right?
Okay.
So that in itself is incredible, Julie. And so we have a lot to look forward to in this business. Technology, right? You're talking about leading technology, not old, not dated technology, but new technology, right? We know there's an artificial intelligence race that's on right now. We know that there's people, you know, using AI for good and people using AI for bad and so on. On Passive is all about good. right?
What?
But we know that everything when it comes to technology within our company, right, it's all about doing good for the world. How can we use technology to better people's lives? How can we use technology to enhance people's lives? You understand? So it's all about that. So in On Passive, there is something for every single person around the world.
Not
And not every
really.
company can say that.
Absolutely,
I'm not joining till you get Odit.
Michael. And you're talking about technology, you're talking about sustainable technology. Every single day, the decisions that he makes is focusing on the long-term success, long-term sustainabilities, focusing on how he could create a business model that is resilient, that is adaptable to everyone around the world.
I think it's because you're not brainwashed. Right? When you're brainwashed by Ash, what they do is they choose to spin whatever he says into a positive light. So if you're not doing that, you'll hear what he's really saying. But if for whatever reason you have that weird Ash filter over your brain, he could come out here and say the worst thing ever. And for whatever reason, they still take it and put some kind of positive spin on it. And it's like, wow. But he straight up started his last speech with, things aren't going as we planned. They're not going well. And they haven't mentioned that anything's awry. They're acting like everything's going as planned. It's so bizarre.
The way how he innovates the technologies in non-passive is just amazing, because everything that he does is really staying ahead of the curve, ahead of the market, the current market. And like you said, it's not, it's always updated instead of outdated. So what
they might be, that's the thing, is that oftentimes we've seen it before where, if Ash ends up getting in trouble, then the top people will go down with him. It won't just be him. And like Muhammad Kamal and etc., like the people that are listed on the website as employees, I don't know what, like, because I guess Muhammad Kamal would be hired by Ash. Like, I think that's what the major problem is here, right? Is he's the founder, so he's the one doing the hiring, so they all have to kiss his ass. But yeah, they used to make way worse income claims. They learned a little bit. Sometimes they take our advice.
What he does is amazing. And I love the fact that how he is not looking at today, the next year, the next 5 years, but he's looking at the long-term sustainability
Is he,
of what
though?
he is creating in terms of the technology itself, in terms of the business model itself, and he stick with his vision. It's amazing, Michael.
What technologies?
And we can sit here and talk about this all this time, but what I'm seeing from here is he has such a huge passion in technology and marketing.
Unfortunately, though, all of these things, along with a good mindset, does not good CEO make. All right? That's ultimately the big issue here. Or founder make. Like, you can have a great positive mindset and all these other traits that you claim that Ash has, but that does not automatically equate to him being able to run a company with 1.4 million people in it and make them all money. Like he's missing a lot of skills to do that, as we're all finding out.
He uses his skills, his ability, his talent to.
You know what? They did try to say that about their O Connect when it was like first buffering and stuff. They were basically like, "Oh, there's so much on it, just takes it a minute." It was like, "Oh my god!"
Event, and like he said all the time, stacking the core. And exactly what you say, when you have those, you have all the cools, you have all the values, you got the traffic, and traffic is almost as it's inevitable. That's a word I'm having a trouble.
They apparently have a whole bunch of traffic still from the last time that they got a bunch of traffic allegedly locked in Marty's basement. Damn it.
What to say? inevitable.
They haven't even allocated that traffic, but now they want new traffic. It's very confusing.
Inevitable.
There you go. Thank you. But yeah, it is traffic.
Stacking the cool. Whenever they say that, I think, yeah, you're fucking cool, all right. Those cold, blackened, dead hearts.
Is already there for us.
Yeah.
And so,
You know,
it's already there.
Your
What?
favorite word, Julie, right? Interconnected, right? You know, to be able to put a business together where everything connects together, right? They all flow together. They all go together.
Sir, have you ever heard of Apple or Microsoft? Like, this isn't...
You know, to be able to have that, right? To be able to have people to just go to one place and everything is there for you. Single sign-on, one-stop shop, right? To have all of that in your business, Julie, so that, again, you're saving...
You realize that every single MLM company and most businesses have a version of an ecosystem. And there's like 10 million different like versions for the workplaces. I've had to be trained in a bunch of them in my life. I don't know why they think an ecosystem. It is like a brand new fucking idea. It's insane.
You're saving people money, right? You know, those are things that most companies are not looking to do, right? They don't care about your time, right?
Right, like, what are they
don't care? Well, they do care about your money because they're trying to pull it out of your pocket, right? You know, but again, they're not looking to say, well, okay, you know what? If we can make this product, you know, how can we get it to the end user, you know, at the cheapest possible cost?
Yeah, you know, you're right. No company ever thought about doing that before. Crazy.
Without sacrificing the value, right?
I know, like, no company's ever thinking like that.
They're not thinking that. They're thinking, well, let's just get the product out to you and put, hey, if you're willing to pay $10,000 a month for that product, we're going to charge you $10,000 a month. They're not.
Who's paying $10,000 a month for any of the products that you have right now? I would like to beat the person that's paying $10,000 a month to use email or trim some URLs or track some web pages or even do some video conferencing. Like, just direct me to them.
Saying, well, you know what?
I want to ask them why they like to waste their money.
You know, we can actually charge $3,000 a month, right? But we know you can afford $10,000. But no, $3,000 is okay. No, it's always the other way around. And again, that's when you have companies that are focused on the wrong things, right? Here, we want to be here 20 years from now, Julie, 30 years from now, 40 years from now.
You're right. All the other companies, they just want to be here for like 1 or 2 years, and then they really want to quit.
Now, we want to be here long term.
Especially right? Technology companies. Duh.
Right? And so when you have that mindset.
No company ever has wanted to be here long term, only on passive. They're so innovative.
Where you're thinking long term. You're not thinking about, yes, we understand that people have a short-term need, right? People need stuff right now. But you know what, though? 5 years ago, people had a short-term need. 3 years ago, they had a short-term. 10 years ago, they had a short-term. And here they are still going today, right? So, you know, people will get over whatever
Michael?
That short-term need may be, right? But the bottom line is you want to have something that is lasting, right? Who wants to continue to build and then start again, build and start?
My brain is just full of South Park and like The Office and weird pop culture references.
Start again and build. No one wants to do that, right? People are looking for something that is lasting, right? No one.
Than this shit.
No one gets up and say, well, you know what? Let me go into a marriage. But you know what? I'm only here for a year though. And then come next year, I need a new relationship. And then, you know, and you keep doing that year after year after year. People, you know, I believe they actually go into something and they're thinking long term. It may not work out, but you know, the intent, right, was long term. And so in our business, we're thinking long term. That's the intent. We want to be here forever, right? As long as there's businesses.
I don't think Ash knows that because he's openly admitted numerous times that he never thought that this was actually going to turn into something real and take off as much as it has. So he's never really been thinking about the long term.
This world, right? We want to be one of those business, right? So Unpassive is always thinking in the right direction, Julie. And so, yes, you have to be adaptable.
Thinking
You
in
have
the
to be
right
able to
direction?
adapt to changes, because changes will come, right? You have to be scalable, okay? So all these things are infused within Unpassive, right?
Yeah,
And again, it
forever.
all starts with the mindset of our CEO.
Absolutely. So, Michael, what we've talked about in the last, I guess, 30 minutes really encompasses what Unpassive is all about. What our mind.
Which is like guessing what Ash's mindset might be. Yeah, okay, that pretty much is what Unpassive is all about. You're right. Never mind.
Mindset, Mr. Mufara's mindset is all about. What our mindset is for all of us who are believing and trusting and loving what we've been experienced, and that's why we are here. And I believe these informations that we bring it out, all the
That's why
values that
we're
we
here.
bringing out here, will help people's mindset of where they're heading. Because
Nobody wants to get up and think that they're getting paid. Why? Why would you do that when you can just wake up with a positive mindset and not worry about such silly things?
Because what we are heading right now would be
Paid
something
for
that I have
your
never
work.
seen, and I don't believe anyone's have ever seen before. And he has always ensuring us that you will cry. You're gonna need tissues. You're gonna need to have to double pants, triple pants yourself when it's all come out.
Double pants and triple pants yourself, everyone. We still haven't decided what bodily fluid is allegedly ending up in our pants when we do that. So, any guesses are appreciated in the comments below.
What we are talking about is what we have experienced, what we've seen, but what coming ahead of us is.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just saying, that's all I'm doing. Diaper time. Everyone get on your tiny dinger diapers. Double and triple pants, but it's not winter. Oh, that's not why. Ash created the scam that can't pay, pretty much.
It's incredible.
It's like he even failed at creating a con.
And I don't think I'd even have a word to describe it. So are we ready?
Well, our
Are we
future is
ready?
bright, is the bottom line, right? We have a very bright future here in Unpassive, right?
It's
So I think if
bright.
people understand that, if people hold on to that, then they're calm, they're relaxed, they're excited, Julie. They can't wait in anticipation for what is to come, right? But the bottom line is we know that we're going to be happy with whatever comes our way. We're going to be happy with it. And that's good enough for me, right? As long as I know I'm going to be happy. Now, if whatever's come my way, I'm going to be sad, Julie. Right?
Okay, you guys have a choice. After we're done this, we can go and watch the fireside chat that features Michael Williams, who gets kind of upsetty spaghetti at everybody. Or we can watch the John White Shining the Light. Whichever one you guys want. So I guess either let me know by saying Fireside or Mr. White.
That's a different ball game, right? So if I know that I'm going to be happy with what's coming my way, I'm already happy now. You know what I mean? In anticipation of that happiness.
We're going to be reacting to both of them no matter what. So it's just whichever one you guys want to do today. And then I'll see if I can stream tomorrow or the next day the John White one. Because you guys are saying Fireside. Or at least Albs is very much saying Fireside.
That will come in the future. So we're in a great place. Just keep loving Unpassive because it gives us hope.
I can look
There's
for
no
that
doubt
one
about
for
that.
future
In a world that doesn't have much hope, right? This is one company that actually gives us hope. Where business is concerned and how we can help, our neighbor. Right. That's what this business will allow us to do. Help ourselves, help our family, help our neighbors, our community, and help the globe at large. So I'm looking forward to it, Julie. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so just wrap this up. Mindset is something that it can shape where our life will be. It's dependent on where our mindset is, right?
Yeah, I don't think she listened to anything that he friggin' said. The Jamaican guy is very entertaining, you're right. Come on, Derek, he knows the good news about wanting to be paid.
It can help us to actually make sense of things that is happening on passive, things that is happening in the world, and things that are happening in our own lives. So the way we think is where we are. So
the way
that's it. Thank you, everyone. That was a wrap. We hope everyone have a blessed day. And
wow, Michael's face just went from like completely serious to like that smile. It was kind of creepy.
Blessed week, and enjoy the rest of July. You as
and
well,
enjoy the rest of
Absolutely.
July, she says, guys. And enjoy the rest of July. That's what she says. Enjoy the rest of July. All right, so the fireside chat seems to have won. Now it's pretty long. It's a pretty long chat. It was about 4 hours. We're not going to be able to watch the entire thing. But there was a good portion of it where Michael was taking some questions. All right. Would you guys say that probably the last hour of it? What do you guys think? The last hour of it, it was quite interesting. Scammer tears are coming. Not 4 hours. No, we're not doing the whole 4 hours. But I want to see how Michael answers the questions. A lot of people, and I went and I watched parts of this. I haven't seen the whole thing because it was 4 hours long, and I just don't have the time over the summer like I do in the fucking winter time to watch these during the day. I just don't. But I did poke around, and I felt like the last hour was really where he was taking the questions, and a lot of you guys were writing me during it because you were very upset with how he was acting. You didn't appreciate it, and we're having a storm coming in. So this should be great fun for all. I have sped it up, but we're going to start at the 2:55 mark. Hopefully that's a decent place to start. Basically, they came on, they do what they usually do, where they all take a few moments to talk about how great On Passive is. But Michael Williams was the guest. And so he was kind of the star of the show. Yes, the last hour, that's where he is. Yes, I believe it is. He's near the end, right? So I want to make sure we get that part for sure. Here we go.
I enjoyed her. But what I realized is that even though we didn't pay anything, they use our data to do what they have to do. And you see money in your wallet, right? That they make it that you've done it. So we were generating ads for them without knowing. Just afterwards, after the fact, when the month came and you tried to withdraw the money, and you couldn't. So yes, but Michael, thanks for keep reassuring us that On Passive is going to be different. No good thing comes easy, folks. No good thing comes easy. Because I was online and I had to remove somebody on the platform today on YouTube. She was just saying nonsense. Sorry. If you're still hearing me, she was saying nonsense. She was throwing shit at us and like, oh, you supposed to keep saying that. Oh, but notice coming. Even try to, I know my brother doesn't care. So I don't throw shit at my brother, really myself, right? But and I'm like, I just have to take her out. Because we don't need that negative spirit. We don't need it. Truly, what are we really doing in On Passive? Apart from saying that faith that yes, we trust our CEO, yes, we want to be part of this. And the way my brother, Dr. Derek, will say that, and he has given us the money back. He refunded it. Who does that if not On Passive? We actually are in this for free. For free. One says 100% commission means you're actually joining this business for free. We don't get that, really. For free. And somebody's working hard for us. Thank you, Brother Mike. Always come here and you say things that are very true to me. Some of them I'm just laughing because the way people are seeing things. That question was upper-handed, but you took it where it's supposed to go. One of my sisters here, I think Sister Loretto, says that On Passive will be one of those companies that she doesn't know, but that's the feeling, that's the vision, that is what she saw in her spirit that even our household items will have the word unpassable in it. That's what she's saying.
Passionate one.
This thing is going to be big. We don't know how big. But she can feel in her spirit that this is a different company. It's really going in a different direction. It's not going to be IT. It's going to be beyond IT. It's going to be beyond what we can imagine. Please don't quote us, but that is her feeling. That's her passion. That's what she's saying. That's what her spirit is telling her. So if you believe it, you enjoy the process. If you don't, you endure the process. So people that are complaining or asking why, one of the comments she wrote on the YouTube, the OES has been down for so long, nobody goes down that long. People that don't understand the process and don't believe in it, they're enjoying. And I was just going to ask Brother Michael this question more for the people that are concerned. Some of them will not ask their concern, but as I said, when I saw her write on the YouTube today, the comments she was putting, talking about the OES has been down this long. But Michael, just shed the light on us what it means for that type of migration. Just a little like maybe some folks that really understand what we are really looking for. Thank you.
Sure. So, I mean, people have to understand, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's always about dollars and cents. Right? Let me just jot this down so I don't forget. Right? It's always about dollars and cents. Right? And I'm in a business that does not require my time, first and foremost. Right? It's not like I join a business for free and every day I have to watch videos or I have to, click on
Here we go.
and links, and so it's taking my time. You know what I mean? Or every day I got to be in webinars and this, and you know what I mean? So I'm putting an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 5 hours, you know what I mean? That's not passive. I'm certainly not doing that. Yeah, sure, in my case, I get messages, every day and stuff like that, but it's not like I'm getting, 1,000 messages a day, and you know what I mean? It's nothing that's taking me.
I feel like that's a lie though, because like Michael was on a lot of streams this past week, and it seems like he was doing streams almost every day.
Out from anything else that I'm doing, right? So it's not taking away my time, right? First and foremost. Second, it's not taking away my money. I'm not spending any money towards it, right? When was the last time I spent money towards on passive? You know what I mean? That's a long time ago.
Hey, for Connect.
It's not like every day or once a month or every year, or that's not the case. So it's not taking my time. It's not taking my money. So what's my problem? What's my problem? That's what I want to know. Well, I'm in a business that's not taking my time and it's not taking my money.
It is.
Right? Oh, I have to wait. Oh my
Except
God.
you have to pay to join it. You had to pay $97 US to join it, right, Mike? All right, and you're in Canada, so it was a little bit more for us now, wasn't it? Right, the exchange. And then you had to buy OConnect in order to make money off OConnect. And you have hundreds of accounts, thousands of accounts, apparently. We're in Ash, right? Remember when you and Ash yelled at me when I went on the webinar? You were like, yeah, thousands. So how many times did you buy OConnect? And then OConnect's going to cost people $125 a month. So it is costing money. And it is taking away people's time. You even say, what, we have to wait? Yeah. You're stealing their time.
God. But yet, as I said earlier, people are willing to go work at a job, right, that isn't providing enough for their family. They're not making enough money. That's why some people end up with a second job, a third job, right? That's why some folks have to go back to school, to go get retraining, whatever, to upgrade, all these things, because they need more money. That's why some people rent out their home, the home that they live in, right? That's why some people have to do that, right? That's why they have to get somebody else to come live with them to help pay the mortgage, right? Help pay the bills, etc. Right? Or they have to move in with somebody, you know what I mean, right? And so on and so forth, right? That's the state that we're living in right now.
Nobody looks
I don't care
impressed.
where you are in the world. Okay, that's what's going on right now. Okay, it is not pretty out there. Okay, and I don't know if you follow, but you can look at what the CPI index is saying. You can look at what the PPI index is saying, and all these different things. Right? What inflation? You can take a look at all that stuff if you're into economics and what have you. Right? The bottom line is the picture that's been painted. The economy is not doing well.
At her.
It just isn't. Okay, which simply means that people are struggling. So I choose to align myself with a business that is not taking my time and is not taking my money. Then what is my problem? Right? When I know that it takes time to build a solid business. Right? I remember years ago with a company, and told people about it. Now I'm telling you, this thing is gonna do well, blah blah blah. People came, they they left, and they come and they leave, all this fancy stuff. The company created hundreds of millionaires. Okay. But when we told people about it, they're like, oh, this is not gonna work. Oh, this is this. Oh, this is that. Blah blah blah. Right? All this stuff, and all they have to do was be patient. You know, that most companies that people join, if people were patient, and if they were consistent, and just did just a little bit of work each day, just a little bit, not maybe less than an hour a day, if they just did that consistently, they would actually win. The reality is, people, they're not patient. You know what I mean? You're just not. It's now. And that now is being intensified as we move forward. As the years go by, that now attitude, mindset is being intensified, right? Where everything you want right now. You're watching TV, you don't even want to watch a commercial, right? You're watching a show on TV, and when the commercial comes on, you switch it to something else because you don't want to watch a commercial. The commercial is bothering you, right? It's like you're watching a YouTube video, and these ads come on, right? It's like right? You find a way to fast forward to get out of the ad, and my wife just figured this out, by the way, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's how you do it. So when the ads come on, she figured out not to watch the ads and get back to her show that she's watching on YouTube, right? That's just the climate that we're living in right now. So I'm saying to myself, well, I don't want to be like those people who are chasing this business and that business by spending money, right? Spending their time, spending their time, and end up keep losing. That makes no sense to me. Why not just be patient and continue doing what you're doing? Let the company do what the company is doing, and when everything is ready for you, here you go.
See, the thing about Michael is he thinks he's coming off as like a passionate person, but I feel like he comes off as like angry.
It just handed to you in a nice box, nice little ribbon on it, right? And you just open it and poof, right? Things are running just the way you want it to run. Like, isn't that what people want? Right? No? People want the headaches. People want to be out there struggling, trying to figure out how marketing works. People want to have the headaches of trying to figure out how in the world can I make a sale? How can I make this business work?
What?
How can I get Johnny to join my business? Right? How can I get Susie to come on board with me? But I know it's the best thing in town. Why can't they see what I see? We don't pass it. We don't need anybody to see what we see. We just don't. Our business is all about customers. Right? It's all about customers. And so you get customers.
Yeah, but here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. A great way to see how customers are going to react to you is to see how your friends and family react to you. So if they're all like, yo, you're crazy, like this isn't going to turn out, then how do you think strangers are going to react to you? Honestly, though, think about it.
I can't think about it. Say it over and over and over again until it's thick in people's heads to understand this is how you build a professional business.
For example, when I told my friends and family that I was joining both of the MLMs I was joining, they were like, I think you might be joining a scam. You should probably look into it again and just make sure you're not joining a scam. When I told them I was going to start a YouTube channel to speak out about scams, they were like, oh, yeah, no, that would be a good idea for you to do. There's something you can do,
Chase family and friends and my dog and cat and trying to get anybody who would listen to me. That's nonsense. Right? There was a time that we did that, yes, because that's what we had back then. The hotel meetings and presentations and all this fancy stuff. But
targeted traffic isn't guaranteed customers.
We do things different, right? Just do things different. I can't remember the last time I did a live presentation in a hotel somewhere. It's got to be at least, years, like years. You know what I mean? Because you found a better way, a more effective way, a more efficient way. Don't you want to be efficient in life? You know what I mean? Don't you want to spend the least amount of money to make the maximum amount of money? Don't you want to put out the least amount of effort to get the maximum return? Like, isn't that what people want? Or wouldn't you want to put out maximum effort
but that's
to get a very
not
small
what
return?
is doing.
That makes no sense. Right? Why would I want to just spend my entire day just working, and I have no time for my family. I have no time for my friends. I have no time to socialize. I have no time to have fun. What kind of life is that? Like, think about that. Think about your life right now, and you have to go. Is that how you want your life to be? Like, truly? Where you have to get up so early, go to a job that you don't like, come back home, it's just time to eat, shower, off the bed, repeat the next day. The weekend comes, it's like, oh, gotta go do groceries, gotta do laundry, right? You know what I mean? Like, you still don't have time for yourself, right? I see people, they have their cottages, and they sit on the highway for hours, to get to a cottage, right? Come Friday to get to their cottage.
It's all a part of the social conditioning, right? You make people feel bad about themselves, question their life, go, I want more out of life. And then you tell them that you'll be the thing that will give them more out of life.
Right? And they spend literally a full day at the cottage, like all day Saturday at the cottage. But come Sunday morning, they're going to get back hours again to go through traffic.
Recording stopped.
Right? Like people are doing that stuff. And I'm saying, like, and they think that's living. That isn't living. It just isn't. Why would I want to flip that around where I can work a few hours or maybe a few days and the majority of my time I get to be at my cottage and enjoy my time? You know what I mean? Why not flip that around where I spend 5 days at a cottage?
Recording in progress.
Right? Why would I want that to be the case? You understand? But no, people are just stuck in their way and just don't get it. And so when they come and they see, well, okay, why are we not there yet? Why are we still waiting? Why? But what are you doing while we're, what are you doing? You know what I mean? People don't want to take responsibility for themselves. That's the real issue, right? People want to go out there and blame somebody else for their failure.
Oh, don't blame Ash.
All these people that are they're negative and going on and all this stuff, it's the real reason. They want to find someone to blame. Oh, let's blame Ash, right? Let's blame Dr. Benny. Let's blame Engineer Mike, right? Let's blame Marty. Let's blame Brett. Let's blame Chris. Let's, you know what I mean? They're trying to find somebody to blame, right? Blame for what? For exposing to you something that's going to change your life? You know what I mean? Right? You we see people that are always celebrated. And now, I don't mean I'll go back to sports, right? You see that person, they won that championship. But how long did it take for them to get there? How many hours of training for them to get there? When you see that person win that gold medal at the Olympics, do you know what they had to go through to get there? A lot of trials, injuries, pain, struggles, financial problems, stress, anxiety. You understand? To get there. Most people are not willing to do.
I don't understand that, because if you had been working for the past 6 years, you would have actually been able to pay bills, pay off that mortgage you were just talking about, and even have some money left over to spend time with friends. Instead, you've been on webinars for 6 years not getting paid. Like, how is On Passive better?
When you hear of, this female athlete that do 1,000 sit-ups a day,
Canada.
Are you willing to do 1,000 sit-ups a day to get the results? You understand me? Most people are just not. They're not willing to do what it takes to win. You understand? That's life, right? And that's in everything. You got kids in school. Some kids are willing to spend the extra hours, you understand, to study for that exam that's coming up, where some of the kids, they just show up. And you just show up and you expect to get an A, like that person who, spend the hours to study. Unless you're a genius, you know what I mean, right? People put hard work in. And so in building a business, it's the same thing. There are people that's willing to put the time. I was talking to someone, I said, yeah, I remember this guy that I knew back in the day, and he would go door to door selling cookies. He went out to become a millionaire. Okay? But most people are not willing to go door to door. Most people don't even want to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, just take a look at this thing. They're not even willing to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of people came into On Passive. They're not even willing to share. Just send a link out to a friend just to say, hey, I'm in this thing called On Passive. I don't know. Check it out. Just something as simple. They're not willing to even do that.
Oh my God, that's literally
But yet they want to reap the rewards.
But, okay, so a moment ago you said you don't have to go and convince your dog and your cat to join. And now you're like, but, share with everyone you know. Say, hey, have you heard of this thing called On Passive? Like, which one is it? Do you have to share this experience or not?
Right? Yet when you're making your $1 million a year, right, they want to look at you like, well, why are you making that? Where's my money? Because I've not made no money yet. I'm still waiting for commissions. Blah, 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 blah. They don't know the hard work that you put in to get to where you are. You know what I mean? That's just people in general, right? That's just people in general. But, back to migration, right? Folks, there's a lot that's going on. We're talking about information. We're talking about data, right? It doesn't happen overnight, right? And whatever else the company's dealing with, it's not our problem, meaning that we don't have to attend to it. We're not there in meetings with lawyers. We're not there in meetings with staff, right? We're not there in problem solving. We're not there in making sure that this is working. We're not in any of that. We're not paying any bills. We're not doing none of that stuff, though. So I'm saying I don't see why we get upset and uptight and all that. Why? right? Just continue your life, do what you need to do, make sure your bills are paid. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. As long as you're not infringing, you know what I mean, on other people's rights, and you know what I mean, not doing anything bad. Just do good, right? And just live life, knowing that you have a solution. Think of somebody who decides to, I get a job. Okay, so I finished school, got a good job right now, and I'm thinking about my future. I want to be able to buy a home, right? At some point, want to be able to take vacations. I want to be able to retire. So I start to put money aside. So I'm putting aside, I don't know, $100 a month, right? Okay, what is that $100 doing for me right then and there? Nothing. But over time, though, right? 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. You understand? Now, when I look up, I've been putting aside this $100 a month, right? And now I look up 30 years later, it's like, wow, look what I've accumulated. You understand? But in the beginning, it's $100
So like on passive
can't do
go
anything,
like that.
right? After years, $1,200 can't do anything. You know what I mean? But I continue to put it aside though, and then down the road, poof, look what I have, right? Somebody decides to go buy a life insurance policy, right? And you have somebody says, "Oh, you're just wasting your money. Why did you pay life insurance?" That's for people that like, why'd you go buy life insurance policy? But the person says, you know what? If something should happen to me prematurely, I still want to make sure my kids go to university. I still want to make sure that my spouse is taken care of. I still want to make sure they have a home and not a debt that they have to deal with. I still want to make sure my final expenses is taken care of, that they don't have to go to the state and try to beg them to bury my loved one. You know what I mean? For whatever reasons that they have, right? So that person is being responsible, right? They're thinking about, hey, I'm not going to live forever. So they say, okay, I'm going to get some life insurance, right? And so they're paying their premium, $50 a month, $100, whatever it is, but they're paid religiously. And then one day, unfortunately, they pass away, right? And then that family, again, it's a bad situation. All of a sudden, that person was the breadwinner. That person was the incomer. That income is no longer there. What do we do? Right? Well, guess what? Oh, they had life insurance. Paid out $100,000. Paid out $500,000. Like whatever the death benefit is. Now the family has that, and guess what? Johnny and Susie and Tom and Tyrone, they can all go to school because money is there to take care of that. Guess what, kids? We don't have to move. We can still stay in the home that we're living in because insurance was there. We can now pay off the mortgage. You understand, folks? Right? That person is thinking down the road. They're not thinking about right now. So we're in passive. I'm not thinking about right now. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do for me tomorrow or 3 months from now. I'm thinking that, you know what? This is my legacy. I'm thinking that this is going to provide all that I need, right? Going forward. Why? Because we have a solution to a problem, a serious problem that hundreds of millions of people are faced with. Folks, this is not a problem that 10 people are faced with or 1.4 million people are faced with. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people. Maybe even 1 billion people are faced with this. You understand? And we have a solution for that.
No, they're not all going to join.
So let the migration take as long as it needs to take. Why do I want to rush it? You think because, we got OES back tomorrow, doesn't mean that, okay, money's running in my pocket now. Does it mean that? No. So what am I rushing the process for? Right? Because I want to get into my OES. I miss my OES. I love my OES. I need to be in my OES. Really? Right? That's not it, is it? Right? Again, people just like to complain about stuff. Right? As a creature, we're a bunch of complainers, whiners. That's who we are. Okay, we love to do that stuff. Anyone willing to listen, we want to whine and complain. Yeah, you understand? I do my best not to whine and complain. Why? Because you can't help me. I'm gonna complain in your ears. At the end of the day, what are you gonna do for me? Nothing. So am I complaining to you for? You understand? It makes no sense.
Right? I mean, it's a bad
person you're complaining to.
We'd have somebody be there for. Like you sign up a bunch of people to a company that doesn't pay out when they say they're going to pay out, and then you yell at them when they come to you with complaints.
When they see you calling them, they're trying to answer your call because they know you just called just to complain. They don't want to hear it. Most people don't want to hear complainers and whiners, and they just don't. Right? Now, am I trying to say that people, shouldn't think?
Hey, Michael's also in Canada, so it would have cost more than that. I believe for us, it would have cost quite a bit more. It would have been like $110 for each account with the exchange rate. So, and he allegedly has over 2,000 accounts. So, yeah, I wonder.
Sure. It's not a cult.
Probably
You know
not
what I mean?
all
Of course
of
you
them.
can think. You can have your opinions. Absolutely, you can have your opinions. You can think whatever you want to think. But guess what? Your opinion, your thoughts,
He's
right,
not real.
is not going to impact what happens in on passive. It isn't. Whether I'm thinking good or whether I'm thinking bad, it's not going to impact it.
He's like on the
Okay,
phone.
in case you weren't aware of that, okay, breaking news. Okay, like it's not going to, and you can't control the
Yeah,
outcome.
he's not.
So if you can't control the outcome, then why am I going to be concerned about how long the migration is taking place? My concern is not going to make it be done tomorrow. You know what I mean? It just isn't, folks.
Yeah, just don't
We
be
have to
concerned,
learn to
guys.
focus on what we can control in our lives. We have to learn to do that. I'm telling you, you're going to have a far more effective lifestyle if you learn to do that. Focus on things that you can control. Don't focus on something you can't control. You know what I mean? Like, just don't focus on them, right? The migration is taking this time simply because it needs time, right, for the company to do what it's doing. Like, I mean, it's just simple as that. It's not a trick answer or a trick question or, you know what I mean, something that's complex. If it needs to take 10 months, it'll take 10 months. I'm not saying it's going to take 10 months, folks, okay? Don't get all, right? My point is, however long it's going to take, let it do its course. Because as our CEO said, when it's all said and done, we're going to love what we see. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to love the outcome, what's my concern? If I'm going to love the outcome. Now, if he said, well, guys, you know, I'm not really sure this thing's going to turn out. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to be kind of concerned, right? He said you're going to love it. You're going to be happy. You're going to be pleased, right? Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah,
don't you want to be pleased?
When have you ever actually gotten what he said, though? You know, like, that's the thing. That's the problem.
Right? So let it do its thing. Hey, take your time, no problem. Right? No, I'm not saying take 10 more years. I'm not saying anything. Don't get me wrong, though, folks. I'm being real. I'm not trying to say that. Right? Of course, you know, we want it to be done as fast as possible. Absolutely. Right? Like yesterday, even. Right? But at the same time, we want to be real and give the company the time that the company needs to make it happen for us. Because, again, it's not taking your time and it's not taking your money. So why should you be concerned? If it was taking your time and if it was taking your money, absolutely you should be concerned.
It did take their money and it's taking their time because now they've had to sit here for 3.5 hours listening to you rant and rave like this.
Absolutely, you should have something to say. If I was paying money month after month after month after, you better believe I'll be concerned and I'll definitely have something to say. I'm not doing that though. You're not doing that. What's your problem? Right? Simple, folks. We have a simple business, right? We have a very, very simple business that is going to do exactly what we want it to do. It's going to put us in the position that we wanted to put us in, right? And that's what this company is about. This company is not about hurting you or me, right? Physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, right? That's not what this company is about.
But that's what it's doing.
Let's understand that. And let's go with that understanding, and we're all going to be fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
And nowhere to lie, he just screamed all of that at them. And yes, yeah, guys, they're all sitting there like, yeah, like, wow, what a motivational speech. Like, and I'm over here like, I'm scared. He's angry. Why is he so mad, you know? We all know the answer. They have 11 months until the SEC shuts them down. Let's hope so.
So much. I know that Engineer Michael, I know you have something to say, but I would like Julie to ask a question on the chat. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Question is from Joseph and Nigaba, and it goes like this. Mr. Michael Williams, please could you enlighten us? Are we going to have a domain name for each product? Thank you.
Okay, so we don't know. The short answer is we don't know. My opinion, I doubt that's the case. Okay. Is it necessary? No. Okay. But if the company feels it's necessary,
what about
feels
own
the best way to move
domain?
forward,
Everyone was supposed to get their own domain. What do you mean? Now it's not necessary? Ooh, you should talk to Ash, really, before you do these rants, Mike.
Then absolutely, we welcome that. But my personal opinion, right, is that that's not the case. Okay, because I can have a single domain name and I can have as many products and services on there as I want. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to have a whole bunch of different things. Right? Again, just like on passive.com. Okay, and we see that there's multiple products under one domain name. You understand? So the same thing that you can have, I don't know, TomLovesAI.com, okay, and you can have a whole bunch of products on that site, right? When you go to Walmart.ca or .com, okay, Walmart has a whole bunch of products under one domain name, right? So you don't necessarily have to have individual domain name for each product. It's not necessary. But again, we wait and see what the company comes and tells us if it's supposed to work, and then we just follow suit. Okay.
Thank you so much. I believe you have answered the
Hi,
question.
Mr. Level. I hope you feel better.
Engineer Michael?
Dr. Benny, I just want to piggyback on what.
Thank you, Ricardo, for becoming a member of the naysayers. Like you weren't already one.
On that question. And Brother Michael, some of us were inspiring to become billionaires overnight. Okay, so some of us got multiple accounts based on Brother Joseph.
And like, what are these websites gonna all have on it? Probably a list of all the products. So it will just be probably very similar to the onpassive.com website, but like each individual person will have a version of it. So it's just all going to be like the exact same website, just duplicated that many times. Like you can only have so many, like, I don't know how they're going to make it different. Are they going to have like color schemes that are different on it? Because like the information's going to pretty much be the same. I mean, on the products page, you know what I mean? It'll just be all the products and what they do. I mean, how many different ways can you put that, So I don't understand it, but they did say that they were going to get it. Everyone has their own. And technically, since each product opens up a brand new tab in the browser, it kind of is like they already have their own domains in a way. So I don't know.
Piggyback on your answer.
I don't think he's telling the truth.
I know that each account is a separate business. So are we going to require to have, I know you don't know, the best I can answer is good because a lot of people have been asking, I want them to hear. Are we going to have a separate domain name for each business, or can have one domain name and put all the business inside?
My personal opinion is that we would have a domain name for each and every one. Okay.
Thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you.
And it's easier than you think. So don't get, oh my gosh, I got 2 accounts and oh my gosh, I have to come up with 2 different domain names. Oh my gosh, what am I going to use? Okay, don't worry. All right, it's much easier than you think. Okay.
Right, Mark.
And again, because OnPassive is a game changer, right? We can't think in terms of what we're used to or what we know from the past. Okay, meaning, if I'm starting a business today, I have to be very careful as to what my domain name is going to be, right? I can't have JohnLovesFastCars.com and then on my website has nothing to do with cars. Right? That just wouldn't make any sense. You understand? And if I'm getting any organic traffic because of the domain name, a lot of the wrong people come into my website. You follow me? So I would have to be mindful as to what my domain name is going to be that's going to reflect what I'm actually offering and how I'm going to build out my site. Okay. Now, with OnPassive, it's different because the traffic is going to come regardless of what my domain name is. You understand? Right? Doesn't matter what my domain name is. My domain name could be like really, really bad. Like the example I just gave, right? John loves fast cars, and that's nothing to do with cars or nothing to do with John for that matter. Okay. But because I'm purchasing the traffic is going to go where I say the traffic should go. You understand? So the traffic is going to get there. So the domain name is irrelevant at that point. Okay? It is, right? Because it's going to get there. Okay? Now it doesn't mean that I can pick some nonsense domain name either. No. Okay? I'm just trying to make the point that if this was something that you're starting on your own, right? Yeah, you want to make sure the domain is relevant. It's like sending an email. You want to make sure the subject line is relevant to what's the content of the email. Same idea. I want the domain name to be relevant to what the content is going to be on my site, etc. Right? But it doesn't have to be if I'm buying traffic and the traffic is going there anyways. Whether they like it or not, they're going there because I purchased the traffic, and so the mechanism is in place to get the traffic to where I want it to go. Okay, so that part is over. Now, when the traffic gets there, now my site has to now be able to do the selling. My site has to now be able to provide the information that the person needs to decide whether they want to buy or not. Okay, so that's different. So again, on passive is a game changer. So we don't have to be, splitting hairs and getting all
God,
crazy.
just more
And, oh my
buzzwords.
gosh, what's my domain name going to be and what I'm going to choose? And don't worry about all that stuff, folks. Right? It's a lot easier than you think. Okay, so I just want to make
Don't
that
worry about
very,
it.
very clear
Guys,
to all of us.
listen, you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, don't worry about anything. Ash Mufara is going to take care of all of it for you. And then you'll just be a millionaire. One day you'll just wake up and you'll be a fucking automatic internet millionaire.
That we don't have to, because I know some folks are already thinking about that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to come up with 10 domain names. I can't even count to 10. How do I, you know what I mean? Don't worry about all that. We're good. Okay.
Thank you, Brother Michael, because some of us have zero creativity. Zero. I'll put patient one, patient two, but I have zero creativity. So thank you for reassuring us that we have a product called traffic that will have traffic to go to our domain. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Pat. We appreciate your question, and I just want to thank Mr. Michael Williams Ames for his answer. Engineer Michael, do you have any question before
that was an
I
answer?
ask my second question?
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Big brother, no laundry today. Thank you for staying with us.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Only 3 loads today, and one's drying right now, and one's washing right now. So
thank you very much.
I'm ahead of the game.
Thanks for staying with us, big bro. Thanks all the team. You guys are doing marvelous. And excuse me, thank you everybody who came to listen to our big brother. It's
Engineer
impacted a lot of knowledge, so we should marketing knowledge. We should always follow him to tap into that knowledge. It's not a day-to-day thing that we'll have him come and speak to us every day, right? So thank you, big bro. And for the questions that have been asked, Julie, Pierre, Dr. Benny, Mama Carla, and Sister Loretta, thank you very much for the mindset as well. Dr. Derek, thank you for the updates. Was good and loaded. Big bro, there is a concept that everybody understands and really know how our business is operating. Most of us have been hanging out here for a long time, for a while now. I just wanted you to throw us a light on something that we are about to get there. And now, what is it? If you have your virtual marketplace, or you have your virtual website, or your virtual virtual shop, then you don't subscribe to your products, which we will see them in our marketplace. So can you tell us the significant, like, if it is there and you don't buy it, or because we have our business is a subscription-based business, everybody should know that by now. If we don't subscribe to the product, what will happen to us? Please, can you give us a little light on that? Thank you.
So again, we still have to wait and see exactly how things are going to run.
Why are we doing this question and answer?
That's always the best course of action, is to do that, right? But because we know that things have changed and are changing, right? So we want to be 100% accurate as to what we know, right? And deal with facts. Now, we know that before, if we did not subscribe to a particular product and we made sales for that product, we still would receive the income, right? The commissions for that. So that will still happen. We just can't withdraw that commission until we've actually subscribed to the product. Okay, that's what the process was to be. Now, it may still be that, right? That still may be the case. Okay, I'm just saying it's always best for us to wait to see exactly, right? So that we have the latest information, and so we know what is factual going forward, and so that will be forthcoming, right? But I would believe, right? That remains the same in that you're going to still generate commission. So in other words, you're not going to miss out on anything, right? So if I didn't subscribe to this particular product, I'm not going to miss out on any sale that's generated. So if I generate sales, it just sits in a holding tank, right? It just sits in my wallet, and I just cannot.
That's the thing, is that Ash brought up the SEC case before I went on his webinar. and basically said that it was just a little hiccup in the road. He just had to take care of it. And then he implied when the mediation happened that it was all dealt with. So I don't even know if a lot of the people in this realize that it's still ongoing, and they do have court in June of 2025, right? And if the company was transparent, like Michael Williams and Julie claimed earlier, those types of questions would be allowed. People could ask them, and then they would get the actual answers, right? Because those are the important questions. Like, when am I getting my commission? That's another one where it's like, why can't they ask that? Mike has forgotten what the latest lies are about how it's supposed to work, right? I feel like he's contradicting some of the things Ash has said in this. It's just weird. These poor people are basically trying to scry their fate of our webinars because nobody knows what actually said, right? Newsflash, there are no sales. Other founders are the customers, right? Right?
Draw the commission until
I mean, the only sales was when they all bought O Connect so far, right? Like, that's the only sale. I don't know if you can consider that to really be a sale when it's just the O founders buying it. Right? Like, to me, their first real sales will be when this launches to the public, and then someone can like come off the street and go to the website and just purchase it. But I don't know if you'll even be able to do that, or if you'll have to join the OES before you do that. Or see, that's another thing. Like, none of that's been fully explained either. Nobody knows. And it's weird that Michael's doing this question and answer session, and then he's like, well, we don't know. We'll have to just wait and see for sure. It's like, hey, why are you doing this question and answer session then? What's the point? Why are we here?
We saw a bit of that, when we purchased Old Connect and so on, right? So we saw that happening. People saw whereby they still received the commission into their wallet, but they could not withdraw it because they didn't subscribe at the time, right? So they didn't lose anything. And so I think that will be the same going forward. But just understand that the company is always looking out for our best interest. The company is putting this together
so that we
benefit, so that we can maximize what is there. And so that makes perfect sense. There's companies in the past that you generate a sale and you may lose that sale, or the sale just does not get to you unless you have purchased the product in advance, and so on and so forth. And Unpassive, again, as we know, is doing things different. Unpassive is doing things that make sense. Unpassive is doing things that's beneficial to us. And so the most beneficial would be that scenario whereby if someone, for whatever reason, did not purchase that particular product, did not subscribe to it, then a sale comes in. They don't lose the sale. It's still there, because then that acts as an incentive for that person now to go make that subscription, right? When you think about it, right? All of a sudden, I got $400 in there, but I can't withdraw it. That's a pretty big incentive for someone to say, you know what, I probably should go subscribe to that product, right? To make sure that I can have access to the commissions that I've generated. But again, we should still wait and see for the final chapter where that is concerned, okay?
Thanks for not answering the question.
Thank you, Hebrew. Thanks very much for your response. We appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. I really want to find out from our brand ambassadors or affiliates. You guys notice that Mr. Michael Ames has been here for quite some time, and I've been asking you guys if you guys have questions or any excitement. You guys don't have any, right? So I pray that you guys don't complain anymore, because if you complain, I will deal with you this time. Anyway. Yeah, I have one question. Oh, Queen Aisha, do you have something?
No. Yeah, thank you. I just want to appreciate Brother Mike for his time, Michael William for his time with us. Thank you for everything as always. Thank you, Engineer Mike and other presenters and the team, update team. I just want to appreciate all of them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Queen Aisha. I have one last question. If I don't hear from anyone else.
Go ahead, D, please.
Yeah, we don't have anything in the chat as of now, so please proceed.
Yeah, I believe maybe this one is an easy question. The question goes thus. Can you break down for us this statement? The world will know your name. We are the haunted. We are the magnet. The magnificent, mandatory new world. The world will know your name. What does that mean, Mr. Michael Williams Adams?
Well, again, if you are if you are an experienced, an excellent marketer, right? Then the world can easily know your name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Like
does.
if you
Sound like John
again,
Brown.
one of those that's online and you're putting out, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, ads. You understand? So like you're all over the place. You know what I mean? So yeah, everybody knows you, right? You're in the limelight. People see you, right? Whether it's your name, whether it's your image, right? Whatever the case may be. So in our case, every single one of us are going to be a professional marketer. Like all of us will be.
No,
Not because we have the knowledge,
that works.
right? Not because we have the know-how, but just based upon the model that our company is running with. You will have the ability to get as much traffic as you want. We talked about unlimited resources, etc. So if I choose to have juliepier.com as an example, right? And I've got millions of visitors going to juliepier.com, right? The world will know Julie Pier, right? Think of Walmart. Like how many visitors does Walmart get? How many visitors does Amazon get? Right? Everybody knows Amazon. They know the name Amazon. They know the name Walmart. Right? Everybody knows Apple. You understand? People know the name. It's because of the traffic, right? How much traffic they get. And it's the size of their network. All of that. So when you start to command, at will, because it's a service on demand, right? You pick and choose. I want 1,000. I want 100,000. I want 1,000,000. I want 10 million. Whatever case may be, and you have all that traffic coming at your domain name. They're gonna know you. So know your name doesn't necessarily mean it's Julie Pier, because that's not your domain name, right? But they will know your domain name. They will know if you have patience is now wealthy.com. They're gonna know that belongs.
Okay, but think about it like this, okay? There's going to be allegedly 1.4 million different websites, all with the same stuff on it. So how many people are actually going to know you? Like, really think about it.
To Dr. P, you understand? So they're going to know you because of the amount of traffic, the amount of attention that you're getting, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to show up at your doorstep because they know that you're wealthy. That doesn't mean any of that. But it just simply means that you have a lot of exposure, right? And so when you have so much exposure, people are going to know who you are. That person who's famous on TikTok, that person who's famous on YouTube, and so on, right? People know them. You know what I mean? Just ask your kids. If you have young kids, they'll tell you, who's the latest TikTok sensation. You know what I mean? They'll know that, right? Again, because the exposure that person has. They say, oh, that person has so many followers. They had a video, and the video got 1 billion views or whatever. You know what I mean? So that person now becomes famous as a result of
you
that.
wish.
Right? And so it's the same thing with us here in Non-Passive, because of the nature, the model of the business, whereby we can buy traffic on demand. We're gonna have a lot of exposure, and so therefore people will know who you are from that standpoint. Now, you can still choose to be hidden. You know what I mean? You don't have to come out front, right? But your site, you know what I mean? Your domain, your website will become famous, because that's the difference having a unique domain name versus having a replicated
Can't
page.
guarantee that.
If all of us had onpassive.com / your number 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then your number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, you know what I mean? 1 2 3 4 5 6 8. You understand? Then who knows that? Nobody remembers that. All they remember is onpassive.com. You understand? But if you have Susie McCray.com and JulieWynn.com, and you know what I mean? Or CoolAI.com, or whatever the site is, they're all unique. Okay, and because they get so much exposure, people are gonna know these domain names, right? They're gonna know you. So yeah, that's what it is. when our CEO is talking about the world is going to know your name. And that's going to be a good thing, because if you have a lot of exposure, you're able to monetize that exposure, right? And that's the name of the game. You want to be able to monetize the traffic, right? And so once you're able to monetize the traffic, that's how you're going to generate wealth. That's how you're going to be able to do what it is you want to do in life and so on. Being able to monetize that. That's the era that we're in right now. Monetize data. Okay, data is king, data is queen, right? That's what we want, and that's what we have in on passive. Again, just to let the company do their thing, and all of us will be grateful for the results.
Thank you so much. I have learned something today. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this moment, I'm going to hand it over to
MrsOnPassive.com. My agency.
Thank you. I was thinking of one name, smilewithdrbennett.com. How about that?
How about you keep it to yourself for now?
Funny graphics.
Thank you, thank you. I would hand it over to Queen Irene. Could you please proceed, Queen Irene?
Wow. It has been a rich information.
Okay, think of it like this though. Let's say that you guys had 1 million people on your website in this last month. Now you're going to have to divide that by 1.4 million people, and that's how many people will come to your personalized website. Yeah, exactly.
Afternoon. Every time Brother Michael comes, we gain a lot. Thank you very much, Brother Michael, for honoring us every month. We really appreciate you. I mean, we don't have any words that can really show how much we appreciate you. So we thank you very much. Thank you, everyone that has been here all afternoon with us, enjoying all the information, everything that our brother has been dishing out to us. Don't mind Dr. Benny, who is threatening that if you don't ask a question, don't complain. There'll always be complaints regardless. And some of us will be quiet and then we'll complain behind. Even when we had the opportunity to ask or show our appreciation and we didn't, then there will be a moment we'll just complain behind under the desk. So Dr. Benny, don't worry, we're here. So thank you, everyone.
Get to the point, Irene.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to jump in. And this is the fact that Brother Michael is like this. I don't know what this woman wants from me. Brother Michael, you've been with us. We really appreciate you for about 4 hours, and you've really spoken to us for 3.5 hours. You know what I'm going to ask of you, right? You know what I'm going to ask of you. I just want you to give me the elevation speech that I'm going to use it for the next month before we see you. Something just that's I want to say take home message. What can I take home from all what is happening, from all what you shared with us today?
I think you're greedy.
I am. In 2 sentences.
That was a bit much, but sure.
I'm greedy. This is one for us. Please, I know you're taking your time. We really appreciate it. Please, we don't want to make Michael not to come here again, but I'm telling you, every time that we've done that, you hit that hope. Everybody keep asking me. Normally, we'll connect. Today, I just saw the spirit going to let YouTube going. They'll be like, where's the second part? Where's the second part? So give it to them now, and they have it. Nobody come ask you. Thank you, Brother Michael. Just give us that message to take home and be jolly.
Well, I mean, every time I come, I never have anything at the end planned or to give, or because I feel how this webinar is conducted. That everything is kind of come out throughout. From the beginning to the end. But I mean, again, all I can say is that, people just have to realize that this is the best thing that they can have. From a business standpoint, from something that's going to
still going.
Help you with your financial situation. Right? And yes, we understand that it cannot help you right this minute. Okay, if you got the mortgage to be paid, end of the month, yeah, it's not going to help you. If you got that car note that needs to be taken care of, in the next couple of weeks, it's not going to help you. We understand that, and we really shouldn't be looking for that, right? Because that's a short term. It's like you have short term pain. You know what I mean? Temporary pain, right? But when we look at a mother, I have 3 children, so I was there for all 3 deliveries.
Congratulations!
So when you see the pain that the mother is in, okay, but we know it's temporary though. But even though it's temporary, it doesn't make the pain any less, right? Even though the mother knows that, okay, it's going to pass. They're still focused on that immediate pain, right? And I think it's the same thing with us, in that the financial things that we're going through, we're focused on, but right now, this is my current situation. And sometimes I think we have to kind of look ahead, look forward, to kind of switch things up, and just realize that,
Where's
the
Richard
pain is
taking
temporary,
us?
and it will eventually pass. It will eventually go away. Sometimes, I'm sure 3 years ago, I'm sure some people think, man, I just can't survive this month. And here you are 3 years later. You know what I mean? I'm sure some of you said it, right?
Wow.
You found a way. You know what I mean?
What a kick in the
And
face.
so I think, we just have to find a way to keeping on, knowing that, the future is bright. There's no doubt about that, folks. There really isn't. If I didn't believe that, I wouldn't come here and tell you. I would just say, Dr. P, I'm not coming to these webinars no more because I got nothing. You know what I mean? No, I'm 100% confident in what we have, in this business. Because as I look around, sure, I can say, hey, do this or do that or do that. But at the end of the day, if you can't market, it's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? If you don't have patience, if you can't be consistent, it's just not going to work for you. On passive really is the real deal. This is what if I wasn't doing on passive, right? The only business that I'll be promoting would be a business whereby, it's 100% done for you. But that would mean that I have work to do. That means that I have to administer the business, right? Those days are done. We have a company that says that we got you, right?
Oh my God, but those days aren't done. You just said it. You joined 3 years ago and you were talking about how people's struggles were over. Now it's 3 years later. Thank God they made it, huh? Except some didn't really make it, did they? So now what? People are just supposed to hang on and hopefully, 3 years from now, you'll get through it. It's okay. Another 3 years goes by. See, you got through that. Like, is that all we're doing here? Is that would suck?
We know what it takes.
Do we?
We heard our CEO said that he loves marketing. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, but he's not very good at it. Okay, because the best time to market your business would not be when no one can log in anywhere or join it. And that's when he's done most of his marketing. It makes no sense to market a business, especially one like this, where you have to join it in order to really get anything out of it, Like an MLM business where you have to recruit people, sell shit in order to get a commission. Like, why the heck would you choose to market it the most when people cannot log in? That'd be like him starting a marketing campaign right now. Which, like, they've been in a situation like this in the past when he did start up marketing campaigns. That's my point. And it's like, why would you do that? I feel like someone that's an expert at marketing wouldn't have wasted money doing that. So, like, is he an expert, or do you just think he's one because he's claimed to be one before? Like, you really got to think about that. Michael!
That's something that he enjoys. And we've always said that that's the best thing that you can do in life. If you find something that you love, right? And that's what you're working towards. That's what you're doing. You're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be fulfilled by doing just that. And so this is his cup of tea, the solution. This is someone who's done, 80 million. Can you even think of what 80 million emails going out, like what that could do for any business? Just think of any business, right? Maybe something that you're doing right now. Can you imagine if you were able to get out 80 million a day? Okay, multiply that by 365.
Wouldn't do much.
You can see what that number comes out to, right? Now, I know now some people, but there isn't that many people and this and that and all this other fancy stuff. And, when you send out 80 million a day, it doesn't necessarily mean, right? And I don't want to speak for him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's 80 million new, unique people every single day. I'm sure there's some repetition in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Because that's what, we would do. We would, send an email to you, but you may get an email the next day, or you may get an email 2 days later, or 3 days later, or a week later, or whatever. Repetition, right? We keep sending stuff to you over and over and over again, and eventually you're gonna say, hey, cross me off your list, or you're gonna join whatever it is that we're promoting. You know what I mean? Right? But the point is, just think of 80 million. That's a big number, folks. It's a big number. Right?
I've been dying this whole time. Listen, guys, we're gonna sign up 80 million people. We're gonna get 80 million emails out a day. We're gonna sign up 80 million people a day. And listen, it doesn't matter if there's not that many people in the fucking world, okay? We're still gonna do it. Do you know what? We're gonna force people to make babies and give birth just so that we can send that baby an email. Like, it kind of does matter how many people are in the world, though. You can't be like, it doesn't matter. He's like, I know people are going to say there aren't that many people in the world, but that doesn't. Yes, it does. That matters a lot. Like, what do you mean? 80 million emails. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Lamar says the cost to actually email 80 million customers would be insane. Especially every single day, and especially on passive. Like, think about what they're going to charge. I mean, we've already seen that they charge 3 to 4 times the amount for their video conferencing, right? So imagine that would be insanity. That would be insanity. I think it does matter, though, how many people there are. Remember when that gal named her baby Ash? Yes, and she came on the webinar to let us know that she had just recently given birth and that she named her child after Ash Mufara. Like, wow. So, I mean, maybe they've already been doing this the whole time. They were like, make babies. We're trying to send out 80 million emails a day. We're running out of people. Okay, we're running out of people. Yeah, that was in one of the longer ones that we were reacting to. Oh, that was a bad one. I used to be able to stomach their whole 4 to 5 hour live streams. But lately, if it's not Ash, I'm kind of like, it's just going to be the same thing. Most email accounts that are free allow you to send 500 emails. After that, you have to pay for a higher limit. Probably. That makes sense. Most people wouldn't send that many emails out. You can't imagine on passive math. Because it makes no sense. That was great, though. He's like, and it doesn't matter how many people are in the world. I know what people will say to that. He already has a rebuttal.
10% of 80 million is 8 million, right? Okay, forget 10%. 1% is 800,000. You know what I mean? So can you imagine?
Yes.
Even 1/10 of a percent.
You
right? That's still 80,000, right?
You
1/100th of a percent. That's still 8,000. So when you're doing that kind of number, you can't help but be successful. Right? No matter how good or bad the marketing is.
See, they're doing it again. It's like when they're like, guys, listen, there's 8 billion people on our world in all 2,000 countries on our earth. And they're all going to join on passive because all of them need to use the internet. Yeah, they're all logged on to the internet and they're all going to use on passive. I'm like, that's not what that means. And here's the thing, even if you have targeted traffic, that doesn't automatically equate to that many customers. All right. So for example, the number sits anywhere between about 2 to 25%, depending on the industry. I'm not 100% sure what one the tech industry is. I'm sorry, maybe in future I'll break it down again. I believe I have in the past before when we've discussed marketing. But generally, if you market, even using targeted traffic marketing and all this targeted marketing stuff, if you get 100 people All right. 100 people see your ad. You'll be lucky if 25 of them come to your website. And then out of those 25, you'll be lucky if like one of them, maybe two of them, actually like sign up or purchase a product. And that's kind of the way that numbers go with marketing. And I say it's between 2 and 25% because, like I say, both of those numbers switch up depending on what industry we're talking about and what type of marketing we're talking about, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, that's a pretty good example of what to expect. It's like out of 100 people, you'll be lucky if you get a quarter of them slightly interested. And then out of that, you'll be lucky if like 2% of those people sign up. But my whole thing, though, is that that's not how On Passive thinks of it. They go, oh, if we market to 100 people, all 100 of them are going to join. And they're going to all buy all of the products from us. And it's just, that's not the way that it works. And Ash even describes it as that, which just goes to show you that he has no knowledge about marketing or how it works or anything at all. Because I bet you even knew that. I bet you that when I just gave that example, you were like, yeah, that's a loose, pretty good guesstimate of about how it goes. Because it's just kind of general knowledge that you're not going to get 100% of the people that see your ad to sign up. I think everyone is aware of that. Except for these people, for some reason. I don't know what happened to them. They're basically just brainwashed into believing anything that Ash touches turns to gold. But it's like, it's just, it's crazy to hear them talking about business like this. Like if you sent out 80 million emails a day, all 80 million of those people would be signing up to On Passive. Like, no, that's not at all true.
Because even if it's bad and you're getting 1/100th of a percent, right? It's tiny, folks. It's tiny, right? Again, numbers, right? And so that's what we have in On Passive, the ability to be able to drive massive traffic, right? If there's 5 billion people that's on the internet, right? I mean, again, how many of that 5 billion do we actually need in order for all of us, 1.4 million account holders, all of us to be successful? Think about that, right? Again, you can crunch your own numbers and play with numbers and do whatever you want to do, right? But the point is, you don't need 5 billion. We don't need 5 billion customers. We don't need 3 billion customers. We don't even need 1 billion customers. I'm talking for all of us, right? To be in a place whereby, we can accomplish whatever our financial desires are, right? We can, sort of the good desires of our heart, no problem, right? Think about that, right? So the numbers are there. It supports what can be done. So when I look at that in my mind, I'm thinking it's a done deal, right? It's a done deal. Let the process do what the process has to go through, right? And I know I'm going to get to my goal, right? We've always wanted to see people succeed in everything they do.
Yes, because a lot of them are trying to stop spam on the internet, right? I mean, it costs that much for a reason. That's to deter you from wanting to do that much. Really. Because it doesn't make sense from a business standpoint to put that much into your marketing. As you guys have already brought up in the comments. That would be ridiculous. That would be stupid for you to do as a business. Like, why would you? That's like literally what part of the problem is here too with On Passive, right? Is that all of the money, any money that has gone back into this company has been for marketing. All right. I'm not 100% sure about him paying rent on his offices. He hasn't been paying employees. But for the most part, when you market, you do have to pay for it. Okay, so he definitely had to pay for these marketing campaigns he's done. I think that's pretty much the only money that's gone into On Passive is for marketing. And it's all been shit marketing at the worst possible times that they can market as a company. Like when no one can log into the OES. Things are shut down. They're not taking any new customers. So it's like, why would you market right now then? Like, that just seems silly. Like, they shut down the O-founder positions and said that they weren't going to be taking any new customers, and then they did a whole big marketing campaign. It was like, why? They're like, yeah, but we're going to go up in the Dubai Mall. It was like, but why? Like, people to go to your website, they go, oh, I want to be a part of this, and then what? You tell them that they have to wait? That's weird. So it's not like he knows how to market. I'm not surprised that they're talking about the email marketing campaign too, because he did a big speech about how he was doing email marketing. And it's funny because he said that they wouldn't be doing that. That's the old way of doing things. But now here Michael is going on this big, huge speech about how great it's going to be when they can send out 80 million fucking emails a day. And there seems to be this very big disconnect between what this is and how Ash has described it, and then how Michael describes it. It's bizarre. It's weird. Like, he's not at all really regurgitating what Ash has said this would be or how it would work. He's kind of like making up his own way as he goes along now. It's weird.
Everything. Always want to see people see why. There's a joy that comes to you when you help someone accomplish something. There's a joy, right? I talked about before when I used to sit down and tutor kids, right? And so I sit there and I'm going through them, and there's a breakthrough. They get it. You know what I mean? Now they can do the question on their own, right? And get the correct answer. There's a joy that you feel because you've helped someone accomplish something, right? There's a joy when you sit down with someone, you help them through their finances and so on and so forth, and you show them how to get from A to B. You know what I mean? And they're able to put it into place, right? And they're able to accomplish things in life. And you see the results, and you hear about the results, and people come back to you and thank you and all this fancy stuff. Right? There's a joy that comes with that. So it's no different in business. When you invite somebody into something,
I feel like that's just like common sense. That maybe you don't advertise something that's not available. Just like it makes no common sense. Makes no sense to do that at all. I think most people would be like, yeah, wait, why would you do that? But Ash is like, full steam ahead, let's go. We're going to do it now. When no one can get anything. It's like, okay. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm a marketing genius. And they all talk about him like he's a marketing genius. Lamar says Marty is probably a better marketer than Ash. I mean, based on what I've seen, I could say that Marty's at least as good as Ash is. I mean, Marty's very similar to like Bill Musk Productions with his marketing. Right? He reuses a lot of those too, and then just adds his like intro and his link to it at the end, you know? But I mean, he goes harder than Ash. And the funny thing is, when they were accepting people, I don't remember them actually marketing then. Because the marketing seems to only be a distraction when nothing's going on. I was surprised he isn't busting out marketing right now, but I guess when he can't pay for AWS, he can't pay for marketing, right?
You feel when you know that person has succeeded versus how you feel when, oh man, the person failed or the person lost money or, you know what I mean, oh, it didn't work out for them. Like, think of how you feel, right? So when we're in Unpassive, we know that every single person that we invited into Unpassive is going to win. So think of the joy that you're going to feel when you actually see it, right? When it actually comes to pass. Because that's the proof in the pudding, right? When we actually get there, you know what I mean? And so every single person, as I said at the very beginning, all of us should be excited every day about Unpassive because there's no other company out there that's willing to do what this company is willing to do for us. None. They haven't stepped up. They have not said, you know what, I think we can do better than what Unpassive is doing. So let's, where are they? Where are they? You know what I mean? It's still the same old. Nope. You're in it by yourself. You have to do it on your own. You have to go make it happen, right? Okay, but I'm busy though. Not that I don't want it, but I'm busy. I got 3 kids I have to attend to. I've got to drive here, drive there, have to do this, do that. You know what I mean? Can you just help me? Nope. You're on your own. Do it yourself. Right? On Passive says, we got you. We are partners together. That's what this company is saying to you.
Oh, yeah?
This company is telling you exactly what they're going to do. Is, hey, we're going to make sure that you have all the traffic that you can manage. Right? And then, we've explained,
this is a
right, how important that is. So I think by now you should know, if you join a business, you have to have marketing. If you go open up a restaurant, you have to have marketing. If you open up any type of business, you have to have marketing, right? You should know this by now. So that means we have what every single business on this planet requires. So how can you not win? Like, think about that. How can you not win when you have the solution to whatever? Can you imagine that you had the cure for cancer? Just think about that for a second. Can you imagine you actually have the cure for cancer? Meaning, not, I know there's natural products out there and this and all this other
not a good
stuff.
comparison.
But you actually have something that every single person that takes this who has cancer, boom, they're cured. Can you imagine if you had that? Right? I'm not saying, well, out of every 10 people, maybe 5 of them got good results. No, I'm saying every single person, boom, take this, you're cured. There is no product on the planet that can provide that. None. No product on the planet that can provide that. None whatsoever. Okay? And yes, I know there's herbs and this and all this fancy stuff. There's no product on this planet that can provide that. There isn't. Right? Think of what we have. We have something where every single business on this planet requires. We have the solution for that. You understand, folks? That's what we have.
But you don't.
So how can you not win?
You don't have anything.
I don't care who you are. You need what I have. Right? I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you're educated, you're not educated. I don't care if you have a business, don't have a business. I don't care if you live in North America, if you live in South. I don't care about any of that stuff. Every single person on this planet needs what I have. What about the kids then? Okay? Don't they have families? Wow. You know what I mean? Don't they have to eat food? Is the money not needed to take care of them? Somebody's taking care of them. No, somebody. Right? That somebody, whoever that is, right, requires money. You know what I mean? So I have something that every single person on this planet requires.
But you don't have anything right now. And you haven't for 6 years. Everything's down. And you seem to understand that people need money to feed their families, and they're sitting here just waiting, and they're not supposed to wonder what the fuck's going on. Like, come on, Michael.
How can I not win? Right?
Easily.
That's how we have to look at this business, folks. You know what I mean? And every single person that's involved in Passive needs to hear this. Right? You have something that every single person on this planet requires. One way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. They need it. Who are the people that's donating to charities out there? They need what we have.
How many of you guys need this? In my chat right now. If you need on Passive, say yes. If you do not need on Passive, say no. Lots of people on this call signed up because of Michael. He must feel shitty. Maybe. Not everyone on the planet is paying for Zoom, so why would they need OConnect, right? I mean, it's just silly. Right? You guys need these products? Not me. Not I. No. I've never paid for Zoom. No. Mr. Level hits us with a no. No. Mark just doesn't know how to follow instructions. Jelly's like, no, just the second time, just to let you know. Baron says no. No. There are enough free alternatives. Right? And that's like, they don't understand that. It's like they haven't even looked into it themselves. Right? It would take like 2 seconds to realize that you're not the only ones offering these things. Yet on every single webinar, they're like, we're the ones offering these. It's like, no, you're not, though. Like, everyone else has this shit. All right? Calm down, Mike. Like, I think he thinks he comes off as passionate. And I still don't know if it's just because he's like a negative person or what it is, but for whatever reason, he comes off as just angry to most people. Nay, nay, nay. They don't even need it, clearly, right? I'm just saying. I mean, it's down. They're still doing these damn webinars.
They'd love to be able to donate more, but maybe they don't need any money. You don't think they'd want more to donate? You ever notice that rich people always go and ask other people for money in order to donate? You ever notice that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see them taking their own money and always donate. I'm not saying that they don't donate, but they're always having these fundraisers and, you understand me, all these different things to raise money. They already have money.
That's the other thing, though, that they're not thinking of is like the amount of missed opportunities over the last 6 years of people, going to their website and then not being able to even log in or look around. And, it is turning potential customers away. And for most people, if they go to check something out and it's shit the first time, they don't give it a second chance. Especially for things like this. But Ash has never thought about that. And it's weird because he makes statements like, well, I didn't release O Connect during the pandemic because I was scared someone would steal it from me. And it's like, that makes no sense. So it's like he seems to understand that he missed out on potential customers with that, So we get just a little view into him kind of understanding that concept. But then he just doesn't get this big picture here. That for the last 6 years, pretty much any customer that's gone to this thing has probably been like, the hell is this? I don't want to join it. And they're not going to come back just because they see him on an ad while they're shopping at the Dubai Mall. Right? It's just, they don't think about that. Or even now with the website down, how many people are coming to the website and then going, oh, well, everything's down and they've been migrating for 2 weeks, so don't want to use that company.
But they're always raising money. You walk into Walmart is asking if you want to donate $1 today. How much billions are you worth? You know what I mean? Are you asking me for $1? Right? Think about that. So every single person on this planet can use what we have. Only because of the model. Only because of the model. And this is why we say that people, when they come, you just need to get them in for free. Because there will be something there where there's traffic for their business. Okay, not your own passive business, for their business, whether it's traffic for that, or whether it's, old tracker, as I said. So
because you guys love other business.
Their business, right? Whether they need an HRM, right? Human resource management system. You understand me? Whatever the case may be, there is something in our passive that all these people want. How do we know this? Are people not buying domain names right now? So of course they're going to come to us and buy domain from us because people are doing that right now. Right? Are people not using Zoom right now? So why do you think we're going to buy O Connect? Really? There's a demand.
Because O Connect is 3 times the cost of Zoom? Maybe?
For it. If I can give you something that you're
like, it's bold to think that you would come up with a new product and show up in this market, and that people who have been using a product for a while that they trust are going to not be loyal to that company and leave them to come to your company. It's bold of you to just assume. Especially when you come out here and yell at people that they need to have loyalty for Ash. You don't understand people would already have loyalty for these other companies that have already been providing these products like Zoom. Maybe the people that pay for Zoom don't want to start paying 3 times the amount for a new video conferencing app. Maybe even if you were cheaper, they wouldn't want to switch just because they're used to using Zoom. Maybe it's a big feat to switch, like migrating a website, which you guys seem to find real fucking difficult, you know? So they just would rather stick with what they know. But you guys seem to think you're going to show up here with O-Connect and like steal all of those customers from Zoom. And it's weird. It's bizarre. And you think the missing piece is Ash Mufara. Like they're going to want to, instead of just being able to use Zoom whenever the fuck they want for whatever they need it for, they're going to want to use O-Connect for all that. Plus, then they're going to want to go to your webinars for 10 hours a day every day while trying to run their own business. And have to hear those speeches from Ash that go on for 3 hours where he says nothing. It's like, why would they do that when they don't owe Zoom anything? They just pay for the services they want and use the services. That's the other thing you're not realizing. Is that in order for them to switch to you, they also want to have an on-passive business. And it's really bold of you to think that everyone wants to run their own on-passive business just because you want to. You seem to have trouble seeing the world outside of yourself.
We have, but I'm going to give it to you more cost effective. I'm going to give you more value than what you're paying right now. I'm going to help you save money. Like, are you kidding me? Of course, people are going to at least look anyways, right? And if you get enough look in, they will buy. You want to get as many window shoppers as possible in your business, right? Because eventually, you walked outside and you're looking in the store window, and then somehow you just have to go inside and you end up buying. You had no intention of buying, no, I'm just going window shopping, right? And I'm not just talking about ladies, I'm talking about men as well, I'm talking about everybody, right? You end up buying. Get on passive, bring all the window shoppers, bring them come. Get them, which means get them in for free. They come in for free, right? They're gonna look around. They're gonna buy something. You go, what? I can get traffic? Oh, I already have a business. No problem. That's great. I have something for your business.
Oh yeah, it's just
we
that
have
easy.
something for every single person on this planet. How can you not succeed in on-passive? It's impossible, folks. It's impossible. Again, the game changer. The game changer. All right. Thank you so much for
Bad
having me,
news
folks.
for you, Michael, because you guys have not been succeeding in on-passive for 6 years now. 6 years, 1 month, and 15 days to be exact.
It's been great. Until next time.
Just one quick question.
We are also in it to win it.
One quick question.
Dr. Derek.
Yes.
If Brother Michael will take a quick question. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Coming from YouTube, actually.
Okay.
Someone is asking, well, a couple people are asking, if you're talking about, everything you're talking about is referred to the single people, what happened to the married people? Some don't get that. Some don't get that. Okay, some didn't get that. Okay. All right. When you lay down tonight, some of you will get it.
Oh, boy.
When you lay down tonight, you will get it.
Dr. D.
I'm seeing this YouTube question.
Dr. Benny lost.
Dr. Benny is lost, yeah.
Oh, praise the Lord. Thank you very much, Sir Michael Williams AIM. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Thank you, Brother Michael. We don't really take this for granted.
Thank you for yelling at us, Mike.
We're looking forward again to spend time with you in August. Please don't take this for granted. We're also in it to win it. And for those watching us on YouTube, thank you for coming. And at least now it's live. Don't call Dr. Pesha and say, when am I going to get it? It is there. Go replay it. And you had it all. I squeezed the man today. I actually wanted to get, almost I was trying to get blood from stone, or I don't know. I really squeezed him today, and he has given us all he had today. He brought it here. He told us what it means by our name will be heard, because truly, Queen Ben, thanks for asking the question. I was like, they will know my name. People will know my name. I did not really think about it in the sense of domain. Walmart.com, McDonald's, OnPassive.
Oh,
They will
yeah?
know me. DrPatient.com. I don't know. I'm still thinking. I don't have a name. I'm not waiting. Hey, but thank
World
you, Brother Michael, for
domination.
really making us understand what it means. That we're not most affiliate programs. You said they'll have. I did. What was the other one I did? One of I think you call it Amway. I have all the products in my house. I didn't say. Don't have me. I did Amway. I didn't say anything. I did one they'll call what? Herbalife. I didn't say anything. Okay, I bought stuff, but I didn't say anything. I thought Herbalife, weight loss. Hey, every American wants to lose weight. I will make millions. I have this stuff at my home. I still have to start tracing with those. But I never had a domain name. It was some long thing. I can't even remember it. There was no trim to trim it. It was not customized. Michael, when I was so lost, we're in a company that wants you to succeed. Thank you, Brother Michael. Even at this time that people are doubting, you have made those that doubters that are
All
the
the
edge
Lulu.
to know that they are in the right place. We have not shut down yet. They still have come out to tell us we're just working hard for each and every one of us. Thank you for coming. For those watching us on YouTube, thank you. We're also in it to win it. And Dr. Terry, you can shut down YouTube now. Thank you very much, Michael. We love you.
We love you. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, right. Another scary doctor. Exactly. Exactly. It's another one. But yeah, that was a good look into Mike getting all angry at everyone. Does that quite often. He gets kind of passionate and then screams. And like I said, I think he's like trying to sound all passionate and very into on passive, but it comes off as him just yelling at everyone, which is nothing new. Basically, they say Ash Mufara has the greatest mindset in the world. Okay, do toxic positivity and just be positive all the time and have the mindset of being patient but also excited, constantly excited that it's coming any moment now. Any day now. So I'm hoping that I can stream tomorrow, probably in the evening again. And I would really like to react to the John White video, Shining the Light with Marty and Chris, because I've had it for a while now. And I think it's interesting, and we need to see who John is because he does a lot of the productions with Bill Musk Productions, and we use them quite often. So I think it will be a good little insight into who he is. Who is John White? You know? Yeah, and just go by a domain name. You don't need for on passive for that. That's the thing, is that you really don't. And based on the history of on passive charging you 3 times the amount of everything else on the market, my guess is that their domains are going to be extremely pricey. So I don't know if anyone will be able to buy it and OConnect and everything else you're supposed to buy. We're still waiting to hear what a tracker costs too, because it was supposed to go for sale and we still don't even know that. So I'm not too hopeful that, this thing's gonna be launching to the public. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I thought we would finish it off with that fireside chat of Michael Williams, because it's just a good little insight into who he really is. All right, there we got the true Michael Williams. That interview with Julie was him trying to pretend to be professional. And I think that you guys will see quite the difference in his personality between the two, especially watching them kind of back to back like that. Unpassive train is broken again, probably. And we're about to get a storm here, so it's like starting up. I want to get off of here before the storm comes in. But thank you to all of you for coming and hanging out with me to go through all of this. I hope that you all have a fabulous rest of your MLM Monday. Be sure to go check out all of the other anti-MLM creators, especially my dear friend, the Recovering Hunbot, who also covers a lot of on passive. So, if you enjoyed this and hearing about this scam, then go and check her out as well when you're done here. I love all of you. Stay tuned in the community tab, and I will let you know when I'm going live as soon as I can. And, we'll just have to kind of see how this is going. Website's still down. As soon as it's back up, I will let all of you know. So until next time, mwah! Bye! We're in it to win it!
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want, but
yeah.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy Nerd talking about their experiences.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Have a good night, everyone, and happy SOS Monday. Love you,
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara.
Stop going there.
Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.